so extra, but I know I'm the same, yeah. Love me in spite of my trauma. Give me what I need instead of the drama. Cause when it pop off, it's like, oh my. All good all day, but the night we be going so hard on the flip side. So tell me what we on a day, babe. I could keep that same energy. When you go low, I go low too. But you'd rather stay high, I know you. Can we stay high, babe? I'd rather be on that wave, tryna control our emotions. If we on the right side of passion, we could share love in the ocean. But if you wanna go insane either way, baby, we could go all night. We could do it all night. We could go all night, all night. Do we heal, do we bleed? I'ma follow your lead, but we could go all night. Now all of my calls go to voicemail. I block you so I don't raise hell. Should've talked through it in detail. Our separate ways ain't gon' end well, no. But when we get back, it's like, oh my. All bad all day, but the night get that good, good till we act right. So tell me what we on today, babe. I could keep that same energy. When you go low, I go low too. But you'd rather stay high, I know you. Can we stay high, babe? I'd rather be on that wave, tryna control our emotions. If we on the right side of passion, we could share love in the ocean. But if you wanna go insane either way, baby, we could go on. We could do it all night. We could go all night, all night. Do we heal, do we bleed? I'ma follow your lead. We could go all night.
I've been calm, cool, collected, but you pushing on my nerves. And I'm knowing your intention, I'm under pressure. Okay, I'm admitting that a couple things I said got acidic in the tone. In the presence, I get careless. Long as you know I come with imperfections. When you look at me, you see the soul through my flesh. You something special. Know you looking bomb, the way you dress it, gone flex it, hold it still and let my mind digest. You got the leverage, you got the upper handle on the situation. You worthy of a million more of the storms that we weathered. We fight retreating, then fuck, but you trying to kill the cycle. When nobody stressing that body like me, I know the way you like it. I treat you like a queen, run the castle, you a treasure. Feel like you setting fire to my desire for the pleasure. You a gem, got me blameless, make amends, know you can, I'm out here
trying to control our emotions. If we on the right side of passion, we can share love in the ocean. But if you wanna go insane either way, baby, we could go on. We could go all night. We could go all night. Do we heal, do we bleed? I'ma follow your lead, but we could go all night.
Hey, everybody. It is Tea Talk with your girl. It is Wednesday evening, and we are live. Holla back. If you hear me, holla back. If you hear me, let me know if my mic sound nice. Do my mic sound nice? Check one. Do my mic sound nice? Check two. Okay, that Miss Ross. I see. We are ready. Hey, y'all. Hey. How y'all doing? Do my mic sound nice? Oh, there's bloop, bloop. Thank you for the mic check. Mic check. Thank you for the mic check, y'all. I hope everybody's doing good. Let's see who up in here. I see we got 60 people in here so far already. Y'all, let me tell y'all something. My head been spinning today. So much shit done came out. But most of it old. So to me, I feel like if that shit happened way before the show, we ain't got a damn thing to do with it. And I sure did go back and check the dates. And so a lot of stuff that happened, y'all, back in the day with them people. They got a lot of bad blood, Diane and Shamea mother. And then Porsha had been sued for a child, being unalived at the daycare, like all types of things that happen, y'all, today. But I want to talk about something in particular because this has more to do with the show now than that old stuff that people are drudging out. And in some way, I feel like Portia's story was drug back up because that story, none of us heard about it, happened a long, long time ago. I feel like that was drug back up because somebody drug up what happened between Diane and Shamea Mama, because that happened first, and then the next thing I know, a few hours later, he come a story about Portia mother and the daycare and the child. So I'm like, oh, this okay. So I see how that works. So that's what I feel. I could be wrong, but that's just how I think. But most things that I've thought have come to pass. Now, I'm not a person that sits up here and makes up conspiracies and shit like that, but I will tell y'all what I think about a situation just from life experience. And that's just what I'm thinking. Just the same way that I thought, y'all, the same way that I thought that Shamir was full of shit. I told y'all when I'm right, I'm right. Anyway, let's see what's going on in here. I'm not bothered is in the building. T Talk member. Hey, coach, what's up? Murray Langley, what's going on? G Tina, T Talk member. Lady Maud, Diana Lily, Patricia Bennett, Grace My TV, God's Grace 11, Helen, Mia, not Miami is in the building. Hey, girl, how you? That Miss Ross is in the house. She is a T Talk member and a Lady Ma. Hey girl, how you doing? Annette Soundcheck, that is T Talk member. Welcome up in here. How you today? Kathy Hudson, Lillian Pickney, Miss Jones, 52. Welcome up in here. Hey Vanessa. Welcome up in here. Y'all all right today? I'm just drinking me a cup of coffee because y'all know what? It's cold around these parts today. Sister Soldier, Alyssa Triplet, T Talk members, welcome up in here. Y'all, it's cold. Flower Bloom, T Talk member, welcome up in here. Drop an extra sassy T Talk, be right up in here in a few minutes. Listen, I was supposed to be a little bit early because I wanted to share a clip and have a conversation, but since I got y'all's attention and y'all in here, shoot. Child, Hey, Vanessa. Valerie Jones, welcome up in here. Pisces 1967. T gonna say it if it has to be said. Hey y'all, welcome. I see my girl Lady C. I'm about to, how you doing, Lady C? Girl, almost. How you doing, girl? You all right? What's the weather like down there where you at, sis? Because baby, it's raining and it's cold. I had to put my heat back on today. Look, I've been sleeping with my window open, y'all. It's been feeling so good every night. And today I came home and I had to close that joint up. Hey, Spectations. How you doing? Welcome up in here. Hey, Kim Jones. Yeah, I had to close my window, y'all, because it was just a little too doggone cold up in here. So I said, oh, when I came home today, it's raining, it's cold, and I was mad because it feels like it don't feel like it been feeling. And then I'm going to a wine festival on Saturday, and it's supposed to be probably chilly, something like this. So I'm gonna have to wear a hoodie and some jeans. I probably wear my boots. I don't know, something that I can stay warm because it's only supposed to be like 65 or something like that. So I'm drinking coffee, trying to be warm. Normally I be having my little ice water or ice something, but not today, y'all. Not today. Today it's cold over here and I'm not liking it. Hey, Miss Z, welcome up in here. How are you? I see Elizabeth Harrison. Miss Z is a T-Talk member, of course. Y'all listen, we just about at the 10-minute mark, but I'm going to go ahead and pull this little clip up because listen, Linda, listen. I ain't going to say I told you so. I ain't going to say it. But I told you so. All this fakery that was going on the show over there at RHOA. Shamir was doing a whole lot of fucking fakery. And I told y'all that. I told y'all she was faking. I told y'all she was faking, talking about the girls brought it up. The girls brought it up. I didn't bring it up. No, you over there doing fucking pinky swears like you in kindergarten. Talk about let's do a pinky swear my ass. as soon as somebody get mad or you don't play in the same the way I want you to play, I'm going to tell on you. And that's what happened. You went up on that show trying to embarrass Drew with Porsha, knowing Drew knew the truth. All she needed was a hot mic. Carlos King gave her that mic. Carlos King gave her that mic. See? Oh, thanks, Vanessa. Same back to you. Valerie said she turned her heat on today too. Girl, I turned that heat on soon I got home. Let me tell you. They in here freezing. Not me. Shoot. I said, is y'all crazy? I closed that window and turned that heat right on. They said it wasn't cold though. I was cold. I turned my heat on. But I just turned my personal heat on because they said they not cold. So they said I'd be having the house too hot. So I said, if y'all get cold, y'all know what to do then. Because, baby, tonight they might get a little cold. Temperature's probably going to drop a little bit. But anyway, y'all, let's get into this daggone clip. Okay, let's get into this clip because we got a good clean 15 minutes. It shouldn't even take that long for me to go ahead and let y'all listen to this. Okay, girls, y'all ready?
Show, she's the HBIC, and I don't know if this is a good idea, but this is the real. And she went on to say that, you know, the friendship is not in the place that everyone thinks that it's in. She was hurt by the fact that Porsha didn't come to her wedding. She was hurt by the fact that Porsha did not ever congratulate her for getting a peach, nor ever take her out to celebrate her. I would never know this. I would never know this. And I never would have thought that that was the case because Instagram shows like this great, beautiful, you know, friendship.
So basically what Drew has just confessed is that when they were out with the ladies, Shamea had confessed to the ladies that she had feelings about Porsha not coming to her wedding, not congratulating her on a peach, which they say she did, but I never seen that. I wasn't going looking for it because I didn't know that. I didn't even know, you know, that it was a whole big thing about her not congratulating or congratulating. But today over there with the Porsha-ettes or whoever they is, whatever Porsha people call it, I don't know what they call it, Thought-Lantas, Porsha-ettes, I don't know. I'm not a part of no other group. Okay, I'm the top millimeter, and that's it. Let me say it again, just so everybody understands. I'm the top millimeter, and that's the only group I've been in. So I can't really understand. Do y'all know the name of Porsha group? Because I'm just the top millimeter. That's all I can be. I'm not in charge of the other groups. Do anybody know the name of Porsha's group? Because I don't know the name of Porsha's group, but I don't know the name of it. But anyway, they over there on that internet and they windmilling, okay? And they are saying point blank in the period, okay, that they already had said all of this. They already knew it. They already knew it. I told y'all.
But there was a plethora of things that Shamea said that I feel like Shamea needs to vocalize, right? Because that's her story, that's her pain, that's her journey. But she had
basically, there's even more that Shamea said to these ladies. There's more that Shamea said, but Drew said she feel like Shamea needs to vocalize that. Oh, yeah, there you go, Kim Jones. She put that flight on that Jones. She said, okay, top flight millimeter. Now, there you go. Top flight. All right now, because I'm going to catch me a flight. Y'all heard what she said, right? There is more to what Shamea said. But Drew thinks that Shamea needs to get that off her own chest. She only going to talk about what they said on TV. So there is even more that Shamea has talked about with these ladies.
A lot to say about how she felt like Porsha was not a good friend to her and that she has been a very loyal friend to Porsha. And we only encouraged her because myself, and I've always told Angela, I told Sonia, and how I've lived on this show is speak your truth and just be you. And that's all I can say. This is Porsha's show. She's the and that's all.
So did y'all hear what she said? Okay, y'all heard it, right? Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
All I can say. And so we encourage Shamea to do that. And I think with us now knowing this and Angela speaking to Porsha, it was bound to come out. We had a cocktail or two. And she felt vulnerable. And I feel like she felt comfortable and she needed to get this out. And so she was like, I need us to pinky swear because what I'm about to tell you, I need to feel like I'm in a safe space. So we pinky swear.
Did y'all hear what she said? Did y'all hear what she said? They pinky squared. They did that little pinky thing. Y'all know how you did back in elementary school. Just give me your pinky and tell me you promise you're not going to tell mama. Okay, I'm not going to tell. And then you did like that. That's what she talking about. They pinky swear that they had too much to drink. She's saying that Shamea had a few drinks and got loosey-goosey and started telling all the business. So in my opinion, she used that as an excuse, okay? She used that as an excuse to tell the ladies so that she could later say to Porsha, it was the Henny talking. You know how they say you Henny thing? Yeah. So now she could tell Porsha, girl, I was drunk. I was drunk. And then now that it's out, and you want to pretend that it's the girls that put it out. But the thing that kills me is that you have went to every radio station or interview that would allow you to come and said, Porsha, Porsha, Porsha. I've been a good friend to Porsha, and Porsha has not been a good friend to me. That's what was said. But this lady saying, you the one opened up that can of worms. You the one who sat there acting like you was drunk, crying. Oh, girl, yeah, you know. And I've been having these feelings about Porsha and everything. And yeah, no. Hey, Cool Cat, welcome up in here. How you doing tonight? You all right? So you wait till you got a little tipsy, and then you told the girls about all your hurt feelings from all the years before, right? Okay.
I'm like, what's wrong, you know? And she went on to tell us that she felt like, you know, she needed to be real and address the issues that she has in a friendship with Porsha. She went on to say how she didn't want to come across as though now she's got a peach and she's here and now she's going to tear down her friend who helped her to get on the show. She didn't want the fans to come for her in that way, to feel like she's ungrateful or a bad friend. So I can tell you.
Also, you calculated it out. So that's the reason why you keep trying to flip everything back on Porsha, because you're counting on the fans, and especially the ones that hate Porsha, to just back you up automatically, even though you started this mess. Like I knew you did. You worked in the yard? Oh, still got work to do. I got to transplant some hostas. I think I told y'all about some hostas that I found behind my shed. And I dug them up. They were little small things. Maybe I'll show y'all tomorrow. But I had dug them up and I put them into this. I built the flower bed and I put them in there. And they've been in there growing for however long. And now they're pretty big. So I got a spot in my front yard and I'm going to put them out there. Hey, committed to the journey. T-Talk member, how are you this evening? We are just in here. If you're just getting in here, there was some clips released. Some of you may have already watched the Carlos King interview with Drew. This is my first time seeing that clip was today because I haven't watched the interview. I'm behind on interviews. I still am going to do. I don't know when it's going to slow down for me because everything going crazy. I got back into Beyond the Gates, so I want to talk about that a little bit. I want to talk about episodes 49 and 50. I know y'all like way ahead of me, but 49 and 50 was good. So I'm going to talk about that. It's so much happening, but I still want to talk about things. So we might be a little late to the parties, but conversation ain't never late. You know what I mean? So we can always have conversation. But it's just a lot going on as far as content and different stuff happening. But yeah, so let's finish these clips, y'all.
She was considering the fans and the look of how it will come across.
Do you think Shamea is just tired of?
And that's all I can say.
So that was the end of that. Okay. Oh, thank you, Patricia. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oh, Annette said manipulation. Manipulation. Child, when I seen this, I said, no way, no way, no way. I am not a big Shamea fan, but certainly not a Porsha fan. I just don't think that this gives Porsha an out for how she behaves in general to people. The entitlement is disgusting. The fake tea is no. I don't know. But the bottom line is I stick to like what's going on the story. I try not to go back like last year, this year. I don't like when they do that. Matter of fact, I like when reality show work the way they're supposed to work. Cool cat. And the way, to me, a reality show is supposed to work. They're supposed to come back season after season, and they are supposed to have some type of drama because we wouldn't watch if it wasn't none. Let's just be real. But every single season, I feel like they should make up or either, learn to work together. It should come back with all new drama, all new expenses. No show should be like Love and Marriage Huntsville. Let's just say, for instance, you keep dragging out a storyline. Let's take Melody Cherie. She had so much more to offer, but all we got to see was a woman who went through a divorce. They would not allow that lady to spread her wings to let people see what it was like after the ashes, when the phoenix rise. They didn't allow that. They kept her in one spot because they did not want to show evolution. And that's what we are supposed to see, is evolution. Period. And I don't, it's for entertainment. Whatever Porsha do outside the show, I ain't talking about that. Now, they got a whole lot going on outside the show today, though, Cool Cat. Baby, listen, they came out talking about Shamea mama bought a foreclosed building that Diane was struggling paying for. She didn't want a new daycare. They say Shamea mama bought that. Okay, then a few hours later, child, they said Porsha and her mama had a daycare center and a baby was unalive. Now, I'm not about to take on that story. That happened in 2009 before Porsha even got on the show. That don't got nothing to do with me. But my condolences to the family, because I'm sure they still hurting about that. First day at the daycare, whatever happened, it wasn't good because somebody lost a child. And I'm not going to discuss it. It's old, but it's out there. So some people probably talking about it because that's what it be. I'd be another Shamea. You're going to wait for some 10-year-old stuff. That stuff happened a long time ago. But somebody going to talk about it. But I find it distasteful to talk about somebody's kid. Let's see. She made Porsha the bad guy. Every social media platform has been bashing Porsha as a bad friend because of Shamea's media smear campaign. Yes, I'm telling you. That's exactly what she's been doing. Every single interview, that's what's been happening. But we got nothing from Porsha all season, and she will walk away crying from anything she had to discuss. She could have shown her taking PJ to school, but she might have filmed all of that, Cool Cat. She might have filmed all of that. That's the thing with editing. Shamea probably has some really good film too with her family, more than what they're showing. They show what they want to show. We don't know what else she could have filmed. I'm sure she filmed more with PJ. I'm pretty sure. That's exactly what Porsha feared when Shamea mentioned issues with the moms. Right. We got nothing but fake nonsense from her. She was nasty at the dinner in Tennessee, ran crying at tennis, ran at the play event, ran crying at dinner, crying about Papa twice. Not one story. I think her storyline kind of was messed up when she filed for the divorce. That's what happened to her. I'm late. Let me get in here and take up for my girl Porsha. Oh, them hot girls is coming in. I see them coming in here. Editing is a crock because the only one to show the mess. Right, exactly. And that's what I'm saying about we don't know who filmed because editing, they show what they want to show. You think Melody didn't film more than just that crazy ass shit that we got to see with them Scots? Hey ladies, welcome in here. We got drop the T in here. Sandra Peace Gen Extra. Welcome ladies.
Hello, hey.
How y'all doing this evening? We waiting for Sassy TV to get in here. Sometimes she be working. So I had started my live earlier because I wanted to talk about a clip. I don't know if y'all saw that clip or not. Did y'all see the clip?
No, I didn't.
It's a clip of Drew. I could let it play straight through real quick for the purpose of y'all seeing it.
Thank you. Yes.
While we wait for Sassy. Okay. I'll start it over. Yeah, I'm gonna just let it play straight through.
HBIC, and I don't know if this is a good idea, but this is the real. And she went on to say that, the friendship is not in the place that everyone thinks that it's in. She was hurt by the fact that Porsha didn't come to her wedding. She was hurt by the fact that Porsha did not ever congratulate her for getting a peach, nor ever take her out to celebrate her. I would never know this. I would never know this. And I never would have thought that was the case because Instagram shows like this great, beautiful, friendship. But there was a plethora of things that Shamea said that I feel like Shamea needs to vocalize, right? Because that's her story, that's her pain, that's her journey. But she had a lot to say about how she felt like Porsha was not a good friend to her and that she has been a very loyal friend to Porsha. And we only encouraged her because myself, and I've always told Angela, I told Sonia, and how I've lived on this show is speak your truth and just be you. Mm-hmm. And that's all I can say. This is Porsha's show. She's the HBIC. And I don't know.
Tired of being the background singer in Porsha's life.
Yeah, I think that Shamea, first and foremost, is such a humble spirit.
She is.
Such a pure soul. I just love her.
There was another whole clip. I thought there was another clip.
This is Porsha's show.
And did it freeze up?
And so we encourage Shamea to do that. And I think with us now knowing this and Angela speaking to Porsha, it was bound to come out. We had a cocktail or two. And she felt vulnerable. And I feel like she felt comfortable and she needed to get this out. And so she was like, I need us to pinky swear because what I'm about to tell you, I need to feel like I'm in a safe space. So we pinky sweared. I'm like, what's wrong, And she went on to tell us that she felt like, she needed to be real and address the issues that she has in her friendship with Porsha. She went on to say how she didn't want to come across as though now she's got a peach and she's here and now she's going to tear down her friend who helped her to get on the show. She didn't want the fans to come for her in that way to feel like she's ungrateful or a bad friend. So I can tell you she was considering the fans and the look of how it would come across.
Do you think Shamea is just tired of...
And that's all I can say. And so we encourage Shamea to do.
Tired of being the background singer in Porsha's life.
Yeah, I think that Shamea, first and foremost, is such a humble spirit.
She is.
Such a pure soul. I just love her. I just love who she is. And she's so dynamic and she has so much energy. And she just seems like she puts on a happy front. Like, I'm going to just be the life of the party. I'm going to make everybody laugh. And she doesn't really get an opportunity to open up about who she is and how she's feeling because she's never been in a position to. So the friend of the show, she became the friend in real life. The cheerleader on the court was the cheerleader that I think she was for a lot of people, but particularly Porsha. So seeing her in this position, I felt like this was her opportunity to exhale and release. And I just felt for her because I know what it feels like to be in a relationship, friendship, and you feel like you can't really speak your truth, but you want to clear the air so hopefully you guys can get to a better place.
Tired of being the background singer in Porsha's life.
All right, that was it. Porsha and Shamea have had face-to-face talk to her. Yeah, blind lady, I agree.
That was a really good clip.
Yeah, it was.
I got a chance to watch most of the interview. It was a pretty good interview.
Yeah, I gotta watch it. Did you get to watch any of Nene's stuff? I haven't watched that yet. I want to watch that full video with her and Tamar. I mean, that commercial with that big back Cadillac.
The little babies.
Them little babies. Baby,
Yeah.
they had me on it. You mean Big Back Cadillac? And the babies, man, the babies. That thing had me dying.
Yeah, I watched a lot of. I played a lot of this on my live where she was They were talking a lot about that. He asked her, "Do you think that Ralph was gaslighting you?" She said, "Yeah." When they first initially met, she think he gaslit her. She was pregnant and married within 8 months.
Yeah.
How he tried to take over her businesses.
Yeah, but right after that part, he went into Porsha and Shamea meeting up with Ralph too. And I didn't know how to feel about that, because I feel like if you put your hands in the fire, you can't expect not to get burnt. Even though Dennis is not Portia's husband, he got a baby with her. So they family either way, just like Ralph and Drew stuck together even after their divorce. It's something called family. It's called blood. It's called you're the parents, and you can't go anywhere unless you're just a deadbeat and you decide not to, right?
Right.
So you can't expect to go filming with somebody else and then don't want nobody to film with yours.
But what I'm saying is that why is Ralph trying to take her down, like take every dime she got? Like he won't 40%.
Be trying to do that. He shouldn't be trying to do that. He shouldn't be trying to do that. But I'm going to tell you something, and it's the truth. It's going to be no different from Mary J. Blige or any of those other women who allowed their husbands to manage them and get so much off of their income, and that becomes a part of their lifestyle. And then the law says they can have that money. They did not cover themselves. We got married sometimes blind us. And I feel like even if we walk into something and I got $50 in my bank account and you got $500, we need a prenup. Because you never know what could happen during marriage.
You're right. But I just think, he got kids by her. She said he don't pay no child support. She take care of the kids and stuff like that. And she shut down one of those, the Juicadora business, and then she opened up a new one. Now he said he wants 40% from each one of those business. And even with any manager, there's no manager getting no 40% in no business. I think it's like 10 or 15%.
That's what she's allowed. That's what she's allowed over the years. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So that's her fault. That was her agreement with him. She should have never set that up like that.
I don't think she knew that he wasn't supposed to get 40% of management.
Even if she didn't know, the court not gonna look at it that way. They might not make her continue to pay 40%, but it's against the law for you to go move money when you're in the middle of a divorce.
That would be the attorney. I don't think Drew had a good attorney. I've been hoping that Drew would find that attorney before they ended up Ralph trying to get the lady recused.
Cool Cat said the difference was their full discussion was about Drew and her income and how their income. Listen to what I'm saying. Their conversation was totally wrong. Don't get me wrong. I said that from the beginning. Shamea and Porsha, and that's what I keep trying to tell y'all. Shamea and Porsha is one and the goddamn same. Ain't nothing different about them. You're not going to just hang around people that's that far off from you. I'm not anyway. I'm gonna find a reason not to hang out with your ass. If you just always over here in this lane and I'm all the way over here, why would I want to hang out with you? It just don't make sense to me for them to walk around all these years pretending to be best friends if they wasn't similar in, thought processes and all that stuff.
Right.
I think. Chocolate Drop said, Pinkie Swear, how old are these ladies? What y'all think about that Pinkie Swear?
They childish. Don't nobody do that. I don't know. I be thinking about these ladies on these shows. They be acting like they're teenagers. These women don't act like they grown, sophisticated women to me. They just don't. They act childish. Like some of them act like they didn't have no childhood or teenage years, and they trying to relive it now that they're grown. That's what they give me.
Yeah, once you do a Pinkie Swear, it's because the people that you are talking to, you don't trust that they won't bring it back. And then Shamea seemed disappointed that they brought all of that information the way that they did back to Porsha. I think that was the point of the Pinkie swear, but I'm with Dr. T. I do think that is childish.
Oh, I definitely think it's childish.
Yeah, you talking to new friends about someone that you said was an older friend.
But she said, Shamea said it was Porsha talking about it. Porsha said that it's Porsha's fault.
Who said that, Drew or Shamea?
Shamea said it is Porsha's fault for listening to these girls or taking it any kind of way. She shouldn't have got upset. If the girls came to Porsha, then Porsha should have went to her in private and talked about it. That's what she said in this upcoming episode, in my portion of the show that I'm going to talk about. She said that in the beginning of last episode. Porsha, when she sat down with Cynthia, she said that Porsha believed those ladies when Porsha should have came to her in private and discussed that situation. That's what she said.
At that point, Porsha probably didn't trust her either. So Porsha wanted to bring it before the whole group. And in my opinion, Porsha likes to hold court because at the pamper party, that was something I probably would have talked about later, bringing it up and question. And then you said, I didn't like the way that was done either. That's your event. That's your business
party when they talked about what
Let me finish the point, please. That's your business event. You're not going to get into this deep friendship conversation, then don't get into it. I didn't like the way she was pointing fingers at and questioning Shamea. I can understand Shamea thinking that, but she should have known at that point she didn't have Porsha as a true friend anymore, and Portia's not going to protect her feelings. And I think Shamea should just be on the same thing Portia's on.
You're talking about the party where Lauren was at?
No, the pamper party. Was Lauren was at the pamper party? Yeah, that's where the conversation first started. The end of, they continued. Let's see, the beginning of this episode, the first people that met, they were talking about the pamper party.
Shamea was talking about, you talking about the sheep party, pampered by Porsha.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's the pamper party.
So weren't they supposed to be talking? That's what the reason for Lauren being there was for them to have conversation. They were supposed to be talking about their feelings. Just so happened Angela made it a point to have Shamea and Porsha talk first. So that's what their goal was, to talk about their feelings. All of them were supposed
as a group. I didn't expect the friendship to be on display in that form, and I don't think Shamea expected it either.
What do you expect when you go to them and you talk about your friend and you say, I think she's a bad friend and I don't know how to bring it up, guys?
She didn't say she's a bad friend. She gave examples of things that she felt Porsha had done to her, and the ladies interjected.
Well, let me play Drew's words again, because Drew was very specific in saying bad friend. That Shamea thought Porsha was not a good friend to her. That's
Drew's words. That's right. Drew's words on Portia's feelings.
Well, Drew was with her, so I'm going to take Drew's words before I take my own. Drew was there. She said Shamea wanted to bring up that Porsha was not such a great friend to her. We could use the word not such a great friend, not bad friend.
I think she brought up examples. I think Kelly brought up examples. Angela brought up examples. And then Shamea was wrong letting them do that. But I don't think she said Portia's a bad friend or here's why Portia's not.
I'm going to believe Drew. Drew said that Shamea brought it up. And that's how it came up.
That's fine. It's Drew's interview. Drew's going to give her side of it. But I believe Shamea.
Yeah, I believe Drew. I don't think she had nothing to lose at this time. Wait a minute. I think it hit her when she saw. Did drop the tea stain freeze again? I think it hit her.
I'm right here. I hear you.
Saw Porsha and Angela's interaction. I think Angela had more than Drew. Heard more than what Drew saw. Both can be correct here, and I think it is in this case, but both not being shown. I don't know who she's talking about. I'll be missing comments talking. All Shamea had to do was lay down, and Kelly would have kept her behind in her spot. Porsha always get the smoke. Well, that's because people don't like Porsha, so they overlook what other people do, whether they're right, wrong, or indifferent. I'm not going to overlook Porsha. If her ass is wrong, she's wrong. And she was wrong for saying she want to hump that lady husband. That's trifling and nasty. I don't care if you're trying to get a moment or what you're trying to do for a show. It's nasty. You got a daughter that's going to look at that. That is wrong. And you should not do that. You should not do that. She also was wrong for linking up with Ralph and to show Ralph some text messages and pretend like they say that she want to sleep with Dennis. That is wrong. And
right. I don't deal with
her ass.
like that.
She's wrong.
Because I don't know what you'll do. If you get mad at me, I'm signing on all this. Because if you get mad at me, what would you do to me? So I look at all of that. No.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I enjoy my peace. So
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I don't need no friends like that because I can go out alone, eat alone, and everything else. So it don't bother me. I'd rather have my peace because I don't want to have to be looking over my shoulder and side-eyeing you because of this stupid ass shit you're doing. You too old for this.
Right. That's childish. You can't be behind my back talking to the group. Like, if you got something to say to me, bring your ass over here and say it.
Right.
You cannot do that. That's where hard feelings come from. Because I might sit there and say, okay, yeah, I got it. But in the back of my mind, I'm still hurt and I'm confused because I thought you said you like me as much as I like you. So why are you going over there to tell them that instead of telling me that?
Some people think that Porsha doesn't want Shamea on the show. They think that Porsha thinks that Shamea is still in her shine. And Drew thinks that Shamea...
I think that's the audience. I think that's the audience that thinks that, because we've heard on the show both Porsha and Shamea say that Porsha went to the execs and asked for Shamea, and Shamea said she saw the text in Portia's phone. So how can that be a conversation when they both acknowledge that Porsha did indeed ask for her to be a part of the show? So it can't be both. She can't not want her to be on the show and ask for her to be on the show. We got to pick a struggle with that. Right. But Shamea said herself, Porsha asked at the pamper party. Yes, Porsha definitely asked for her to be on the show.
But let's just look at the outside here. Did Porsha think it was going to be like this? Did Porsha think that people were going to take to Shamea like this? And a lot, I think, has to do with these people see, Shamea, big old house and what she got, and they want to attach themselves to Shamea.
But that's the people, though. That's still the audience you're talking about. That's not Porsha's feelings or Shamea's feelings. These are the audience feelings that they try to put on Porsha and Shamea. It's neither one of them girls have came out and said those things. So those are all the audience's feelings. And I think, like you said, they seen that big old house Shamea got, and they want to be attached to that.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
But they need to have a one-on-one. But it seems like when they get to have a one-on-one, Porsha, she gets to crying and huffing and puffing. I don't know. She just act like she don't want to have the hard conversations. I don't know if she don't want to get it out.
Well, Shamea she said that she don't want to put all their business on TV. That's what she said to me. They don't pay her enough. If she's saying I'm not going to put it all out there unless they pay me for it, she's saying they don't pay her enough to put all her life out there.
Okay.
Yeah. I think
I'd like to see Peaches that show their real relationships. I'm sick of the audience being managed like that. Like, we're not mature enough to watch their real relationship. We're watching the dissolution of a friendship. I think that part is real. But I think Porsha is trying to micromanage what else we see.
Well, maybe they want to get paid more money for it.
They should all band together and go to Bravo with that. Other people have been successful doing that. But being against each other, that's not going to get them more money. But that could be what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. They want more money. But I think that's what Porsha said, if I'm not mistaken, that she wants more money.
Miss Z says if Porsha would have had her lifestyle with Simon, none of this would have bothered her. So you think that if Porsha was still with Simon, she wouldn't have cared that Shamea went behind her back and told all the girls that she wasn't such a great friend? You think that wouldn't have bothered her?
That's what Drew was saying. Drew was saying that Porsha didn't deliver. She said Porsha didn't deliver what she was supposed to deliver for the show.
How could she?
That's what Drew was saying, and I think
how could she though? Everybody keeps saying it, but how could she deliver? If you got litigation and court paper saying, don't take the cameras in my house. You cannot take those cameras in my house. How is she supposed to deliver when a bitter man is there trying to stop her with his foot on her neck? How was she supposed? What was she supposed to deliver? Ladies, y'all been there before. It's all I've been there where a man tried to stop my shine. How was she supposed to deliver? I don't understand what people wanted from that girl.
But do you think she could have just filmed in her own house? At her,
I don't know how Diane got that house looking. I ain't been over there. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe she didn't think it was up to par. I don't know.
Well, I would have. Well, she could have maybe leased the house or something. But you know, it is what it is now.
Tamika said, "Hello, ladies. You have to remember this was fresh after the riff with Simon too. I think Porsha was in a bad headspace."
Okay.
Let's be clear. Up until divorce, I know I saw the inside of Porsha and Simon's home. Their home was 7.5. Yeah, it was a nice home.
Yeah.
She films in there now, I believe, ain't she? Her and Dennis.
Well, they were in
Dennis was that?
They was making hot dogs in there.
Right. That girl said they were making hot dogs in there.
Well, you know, not
say that part.
Not that. You know, not that.
Now, see, I wasn't thinking about that, but they might have put that hot dog in that bun. No,
I wasn't talking.
Yeah, that sweet booty out that day.
Yeah, because she was jiggling around there, baby.
What? She said she gonna make him remember what he missed. Porsha did not ask for her to be on the show. Candy did. Porsha put her on the list as her dream cast but her husband Candy worked with network for it to. Well, that's not what they said. I'm only going by what they said on the show. I'm not going to make up nothing or take nothing away. Both of them said that she did, so that's what I got to stick with. Hey, Sassy TV, Drew. Hey. Is you up here now?
Huh? Oh, let me do my stream.
Okay.
Hey, Sassy.
Hey, y'all. How y'all doing? Oh, we live.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on for a minute.
Well, Teresa, I believe her because this is what I always thought. I always thought that Shamea started the conversation. I never thought those girls brought that up. What reason would they have to bring that up? A 10-year-old wedding, be for real. Why would them girls drag that up? Porsha had no idea her life was going to fall apart, right, for public consumption. I'm sure none of them ladies did. Porsha YouTube videos are good. I think so. I got to catch up on hers too. It wouldn't have bothered her as much. It's just an unfortunate turn of events for Porsha. Yeah, it is. She'll bounce back. She'll be fine. Maybe they'll bring Nene back next year and then she can spar with her ass. How about that? What y'all think about that? Drop the T. And what y'all think about Nene coming back? They talk about Nene coming back. Let me play this little video.
She need to come back. She need to come back.
All of his little conspiracy. I don't do the conspiracies as much. That's too much thinking. And to be wrong.
The green screen of Cynthia saying Porsha and Shamea's friendship reminded her of the one she shared with Nene. And I said, right. Yo.
They're trying to get the girl. They're trying to get her back.
It's too many lead-ups.
Wow.
Remember, this is the same show that deliberately took her out of the intro she had been in. They went, they found the hard drive, found the file, and took her out.
Ain't that silly?
Ain't that silly? I do feel like they want to bring Nene back. One, she hosted the red carpet for the big NBC, what was it? E News Network red carpet that she did. That
recently, yeah.
Yeah, and that was put on by NBC Universal, which is the parent company to all of those networks, E, Bravo, and so forth and so on. She not only hosted a red carpet, they flashed back to her last week in last week's episode. This week's episode, they cut to Cynthia's green screen of her saying, "This friendship reminds me so much of mine with Nene." That was a deliberate inclusion. They deliberately put that in there. I think I have officially sipped the juice, and I am on the conspiracy that Nene Leakes is on her way back to Housewives of Atlanta. This reminds me of the type of lead up they did season 11 when Kenya wasn't there. And I felt like they kept trying to find opportunities to flash back to Kenya or to cut to Cynthia saying Kenya or Candy talking to Cynthia about Kenya, or there was a mention of Kenya. They kept bringing up Kenya, which to me felt like they were going to bring her back next season. And lo and behold, they did.
Now, Ms. Z, when I see you saying that they allowed Nene on camera, the ice is thawing, baby, then I believe the ice is thawing. Because you've been my heart one. You've been like, Nene ain't coming back. They ain't letting Nene back. Baby, the ice is thawing, okay? What y'all think?
Yeah,
That
I think Networks is looking at those numbers. Networks looking at the numbers, and the people that they have there are a true ensemble. They don't have one queen bee in the bunch. Not one.
Not one.
Yep.
Not one.
I agree.
Yep.
Porsha is
I
just
think
like
they
the
need
rest
to
of
bring Nene
them
back.
this season. Right, Ms. Z, ha ha ha. Because I'm like, you be like, Nene ain't coming back. Nope, they're not gonna let Nene come back. Did you hear what she said to that man?
Yeah, I never say never.
Well,
it's network. The
people
network
have
looking at the
heard.
numbers.
There have been
Yeah,
people have said worse.
Yeah,
Let me
Andy's
tell you
gonna have to
something.
feel
Them
how
people-
he feel.
Them
Andy's
people
just gonna
get
have to
tired
suck
of
it up.
putting this money into the show when them
Yeah.
numbers ain't
Show.
coming through. Watch
Now,
when Nene
one
go back
queen.
next season. What happened? Them
Yeah, it's
numbers
not up
gonna
to
shoot
Andy.
through the roof. They're saying
And they look, and they're gonna be looking at her interviews and the numbers on that.
Yeah.
And, oh, come on now.
And
They
she
like
come
look
on
good
back.
over there.
What 400,000, $500,000. They like to have that
Yes.
over there on Real Housewives. Real
Yeah,
Housewives, there's
she
no
doing
reason
good.
them to be under $1 million. Even though you got 4 new peaches, there's no reason for the numbers to be down in the dumps like they are. But
That's
I
right.
understand it. Because
Yep.
we give an episode, oh, it's a 5. I give it a 6. I think we had an 8 or 9 one week. But
One
this
week
That's
we had
it.
not. Yeah, 1 week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
When we're used to RHOA being a 9 every 10 every
yeah,
week.
and they can do better. They should do that.
Yeah. The lowest I ever seen RHOA maybe been an 8. You know,
Let me
that's
tell you something. If
because
Nene come back, that show gonna skyrocket. Because let me tell you something.
what you say?
Porsha gonna have to deal with Nene. She gonna have to face Nene about that damn Upshaw bullshit. Upshaw
That
bullshit.
Upshaw stuff.
Yeah, she gonna have to face Nene.
What she
Now,
did to Nene
the
on
only
that
way that they
network.
won't talk about that. Now, if she come back and they don't talk about that, then Bravo had a hand in her doing
Yeah.
that. If they come back and they don't touch it, then Bravo made Porsha leave the Upshaws. That's the way I see it. But if Nene come back and be like, I want to know why you did that, then hey, Bravo might not have had nothing to do with it.
Because she didn't want Nene coming back being the HBC, BIC in charge.
But she would have.
She can't stop that.
She would have. She can't stop because Porsha don't have it. She just don't.
No.
Just like they try to stop males, glow. They ain't got it.
They can't do it.
Yeah.
Where that show at? Where that show at? Where that
trash?
At? How they say
In
it?
the trash.
Hold on.
Pow, pow.
Where that show at? They
In the
here.
trash.
They here. Where that show at? Where's that?
In the trash, baby. Down the toilet, in the gutter. Okay.
That show ain't coming back. Where's that though?
Where it at? It
It's
ain't
gone.
coming back.
It's
Gone.
gone.
Bye bye.
I
That's
need
what
to
happened when
do.
you come after the real queen of the show.
That's right. Leave that lady alone. That lady ain't bothering nobody.
She mind her business, making millions.
I hope you still got her peach. I was thinking about that. She gave a good interview. She was pretty candid, but Bravo can't stand Carlos King. And also,
they cannot
Drew
stand
has
her.
not been on Watch What Happened Live, and Kelly's been on there twice. Even though Rick's been over there. Angela's been on all of their
over there
different
with
shows.
Carlos then. Or
That's
maybe
what I'm
you
saying.
already know
I'm
she
worried
gone.
about her. I'm worried about her, T-Talk. I don't know about that. It was, and I'm not gonna say it was a bad interview. It was good what I saw of it, but I wouldn't have sat down with
It was
him.
a good interview, but they can't stand Carlos.
Yeah. And
they
he got so much.
You know what Kenya did? She went over there too. And look where Kenya is.
Yeah. I don't know.
When Kenya went over there, they got rid of her.
Sure did.
First little thing they did, they said bye-bye. Bye-bye.
I'm not bothered. I didn't realize it said that. She said someone said it's coming back in June. You just said where that show at, but it still says canceled on Google.
It's not coming back.
Yeah, I wouldn't be coming back.
But what I heard, they're gonna have to revamp the whole show. That's
Excuse
why
me,
I heard
point
they
84. Show me where I can find the announcement. Excuse me. Point 84. Can you tell me where I can find the announcement since it's coming back and it's been announced? Tell me where that is, please, so we can read
because
it. I'll put it up on the
they been
screen
saying
so
that
that
they
everybody
said
can see. Congratulations to the show. Where's the announcement,
yeah
please, so that I can put it up for
in the
everybody?
trash can.
Because the people have been asking. So if the
Yeah.
show is coming back, I'd like to let them know. Can you give us
Where
where
is
the announcement is,
it's the
please?
end of May.
You can
When?
drop the link
You
in the
can't
chat,
point
or
to
you can just
filming.
tell me where to
Yeah.
find it.
Because
We'll
they
wait.
film
Next
for
June.
free. Yeah. So this you can't point to
Next
film.
June
We wait
2028.
point 84. I'm waiting. Y'all can go ahead and talk. I'm just waiting for point 84 to put it in here so I can pull it up. He said the show coming back in June, so it should be an announcement. So let's wait for the announcement.
I've been waiting. I ain't seen it.
I'm not. I would be coming back with it if it does.
Yeah,
The
no, I
audience-
want to see
the
what the
audience
content
chooses who they
creator
wanna see.
said.
Yeah.
I want to see the announcement from the network, because he said the show coming back in June, and the network should have announced it by now, because they're gonna tell you that it's coming back so you can rev up for it.
Mm-hmm.
So where's the show announced at? Point 84. Oh, okay, that's what I thought. Have a good evening. Now, y'all want to get on with the show? Who said? I didn't say it was canceled, but I said it has not been renewed. Okay, I know the English language very well. I never said the show was canceled. The show, well, I did say that earlier, but the
Yeah,
show
where's
has
the show?
definitely not been renewed.
Where it say cancel on
So
Google?
where's the announcement at? I don't want you to tell me that there was no cancellation. I want you to tell me where the announcement is that it's coming back in June. That's what I want, because you said it's coming back in June. Matter of fact,
Where are the commercials? Where are the commercials? Where's the commercials? Saying love and marriage is coming back. I ain't seen not one commercial. Not one.
Tell me where to find the show at. Oh, I didn't think so. Yeah.
No.
I figured. Okay. Yeah, the show hasn't been renewed, like I said. Okay. Now it might not have been canceled, but the damn show ain't been renewed. Okay.
And it ain't come back in June because it's the end of May.
Don't tell me what no content creator told you. I want to see an announcement from OWN or another network.
Child Destiny put that mess out there.
Oh, that's who it was. Destiny.
Yes, Child Destiny.
Don't believe the hype, Destiny. The liar who said somebody groomed her. The one
Eyeballs,
that they asked for a
eyeballs.
and they didn't ask her for a one. Oh, that one. Okay.
That one.
That one. Oh. Okay, that makes sense.
Broken butt Destiny. Flat back. With a 5-inch crack.
Not the flat back.
Yes, child. Flat back.
You said Carlos announced it was canceled. Oh, I ain't heard that.
Somebody said Carlos did say something about I was reading something on TikTok.
BKNY said it has not been renewed. That's what I said. However, it has not been canceled. Exactly. I have not seen the cancellation, but it has not been renewed. Okay?
Yeah, I haven't heard anything either.
No, nobody heard anything.
Now I just seen Kimmy put a new thing up there for breast cancer that OWN is helping her with.
They should help with that.
Yeah.
She worked for them for a long time, and she was employed by them when she got it. Well, maybe not them though, because allegedly they were employed by Carlos. Carlos announced what, Purple Queen, that the show was coming back. That's not an announcement to me. He doesn't have a network. He has a production company. I need a network to tell me that the show is coming on their network.
I ain't seen not one.
Right? If I could get
that, producing,
I might believe it, but not from him. No, he's
been shopping that show around and nobody's picking it up.
No, he's not.
Not without mail.
Yeah, I don't think nobody's picking the show up at all.
Right. Well, anyway, let us pick up this week's episode so we can get this thing done. All right. Y'all ready?
We ready. You ready?
Right, so we'll get started. And I'll lead the way this week. RHOA, we are opening it up with Cynthia, of course. We are coming off of the Pampered by Porsha party. And we know that at the end of last week, Drew and Porsha fell out about not Drew. Shamea and Porsha fell out about their friendship last week. So now we're coming back off of that. Okay. So Cynthia's waiting for Shamea to show up. She gets herself a martini. Then Shamea comes on in. Now Shamea got on some dark glasses, like she going to a funeral, like she's so devastated. Anyway, where's my notes at? Wait a minute. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm starting too fast because Angela and Charles start first. Okay. So they sit down, but we already talked about that. So I feel like, oh, we already talked about that. But y'all remember we talked about that scene. Angela and Charles went to lunch. Angela and Charles were having banter about some guy and who he played for, and they were going back and forth. And then, of course, Angela said, "Oh, this is our love language." And Charles was like, "No, it's not." And she was like, "Charles, I'm giving you an out. You need to know when I'm giving you an out, and you need to take it." And he was like, "I don't need no motherfucking out." So he was like, I don't need that. I ain't asked for it. I don't want it. Okay. So he let her know off the top, don't play with me on here. I'm going to be myself and you better get with it. So she says, "Give me a kiss." And he's like, "Kiss for what? Why I need to give you a kiss?" And she's like, "Cause I what? So he gave her the kiss anyway, reluctantly, because his ass didn't want to give her the kiss. And matter of fact, why was y'all sitting so far apart? Y'all were sitting far apart. But anyway, I digress. They were sitting far apart, but they were still together. And a lot of the ladies don't even have their husband on here, okay? Then the producers asked Charles, y'all, did he love Angela? And he was like, next question. Oh, he didn't want to answer that question. Now, I found that a little odd. Like, why don't you want to answer whether you love your wife or not? She tells him, "Well, come on now, Charles. You know, she's trying to make sure that the people know that you love me." He was like, "The people." And she's like, "No, no, no, don't say that. I didn't say that." This the producer, like, "Don't put that in my mouth. That's not what I said. I was just asking a question." Anyway, then they talk about her sister and her mother and how the sister didn't want the daughter to use the car that she paid for while living in the house that she also paid for. And the sister wanted to charge the daughter to use the car that she not using that her mama paid for. And Angela didn't take likely to that. She did not like that. She did not like the mama was allowing that because she feel like she bought them a home and she don't want them to be giving her all that. Okay. Now, y'all, I went back to last week and I thought about something real quick. Remember the mama came? Well, is the mama going to come later? The mama going to come later. That's all right. Let me shut up. I'll wait. That's not mine. Okay. Charles said that Angela needed to learn to walk away from things, even if it is your sister. If it's just not good for you and it's not healthy for you, then you need to walk away. You need to walk away. Okay. And Angela, she's still like, "Well, that's my sister." Anyway, Angela asked if he thought she could hold her own. He said, "Of course you can hold your own with a woman." She's like, "Well, with who else?" He's like, "I'm just saying, with a woman you can." Anyway, Angela said she wanted him to get with the family. Now, Charles ain't too keen about that. He don't really give a damn about her family. Okay. Now, I hope that him and the mother had a chance to reconcile now that we know she's resting in heaven. But Charles did not seem enthusiastic to be with Angela's family at all. Y'all, then they flash over to Cynthia. Now we at the bar with Cynthia. Now Cynthia at the bar, she got a martini. She want that bitch to be strong. Because she's like, now I got to deal with this bullshit. Because Cynthia already know the truth, right? But anyway, Shamea come in there, and she got her glasses on like it's a funeral. And she's, "I didn't get any sleep last night. I'm so devastated about this mess that I've caused." No, let me stop. She didn't say that. Anyway, Shamea comes in with her shades on, acting like she's falling apart, okay? She says she didn't get any sleep last night. Then she shares a text about feeling sadness right before she was going over there to see Porsha. She texted her mom and said, "All of a sudden, I just feel this sadness come over me." That was very convenient. So you would have that after. Okay, but anyway, let me keep on. She feels Porsha should have talked to her in private. I went too fast. Cynthia said, "What is going on anyway?" So Shamea tells her that Porsha has her so disheartened because the girls came back and told Porsha what she said. And instead of Porsha coming to her in private, she's decided to bring it to the group. And she's just disheartened because Porsha should not have brought that to the group after the group brought it to her. But okay, let's keep going. Okay. Let's see. Cynthia said, now, did the girls bring it back the way you said it, or did they bring it back a different way? Because Cynthia's believing that the girls brought it back the way you said it. But at any rate, Shamea proceeds to tell her that the conversation she had with the girls got taken back in a weird way. Not the way she said it. Okay? They flash back to Porsha at the party. Anyway, they go on, and Shamea's complaining about how Porsha is not a good friend to her, and the girls just kept asking her about it, and that's it, and that's all. Let me make sure I didn't forget anything, because we talked about all this. Shamea brings up, she did bring up the parents, okay? And I think that's what happened today. Once you bring parents into it, and you start talking about the family members, then people start going to dig up stuff on them. So now we got stuff out about Shamea's mama today and Porsha's mama, and it's all ugly. Anyway, they ended by laughing it off. Shamea tells Cynthia how much joy Porsha brings her. Then she tells Cynthia that she might be on the market to be her best friend soon, because, maybe her and Porsha won't make up. But anyway, Sandra P., how do you feel? Because you're not after me, right? Just drop it. Right? Is Sandra P. here?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was on mute. I apologize. All right, thank you. I like the opening scene. Of course, I like that they start with Charles and Angela. I think she looked really pretty in her red. I loved him in his burgundy. Again, that banter is something the audience is just going to have to get used to. Angela is still doing she knows all her angles and that picture perfect. But trying to kiss and all that on screen, that she's still not going to look good doing that, because we know Charles actually doesn't like it. But I found a lot of it funny, and I like their conversation. I don't like the way they engage. Production asking him if he loved her, and he was like,
I know.
That was kind of embarrassing. But she knows that he don't do that, so I don't know why she keep playing with him like that on screen. Even if they play like that behind the screen, don't do that to him on screen.
Yeah,
Cynthia and Shamea, I thought it was good conversation. I like how Cynthia manages to be able to go to each and every woman in the group and kind of get their side of it. She's a true friend of the show. She's doing a really good job with that. And she looked really pretty. Both of them look really pretty. And I like the scene. What they were talking about, I think Shamea is already trying to manage, she showed up upset, said she couldn't sleep. Now, she does have a habit of pulling out that phone and showing the person, this is the text I sent my mom. I'm very leery of sending texts, a lot of texts, personal texts and things like that to certain people, because I just don't find that to be something that you should do. But we saw her do it on screen, that she showed Cynthia, I sent my mom and she prayed for me. So she walked into the party knowing that there was going to be some issue with her and Porsha. I do think that she is really upset. I like how Cynthia handled her. Cynthia is not really, she didn't take a side. She just tried to hear Shamea, and then she spoke for Porsha as well. So I thought it was a good scene. I liked it.
Sassy.
Well, Charles ain't the one, the two, or the three. Okay, he ain't trying to be this life on TV faking the funk. It ain't in his blood. It ain't gonna happen. Angela is not gonna break that man. That man is stern, and she don't mess around and have a divorce on her hands. She keep on, because he ain't for the it. Okay, he ain't for it.
You think he's doing divorce? I feel like they already ain't living together. But
I feel like that she lives in the house to film. I don't think they live together. They the way they interact, it's just not. Even if you had a little love, you're gonna sit a little closer to the person. You ain't gonna sit clear across the room. I mean, it's just weird to me. Okay, it's weird. I feel like she in it for the notoriety and the money. That's it. That's all. I like, Cynthia. I agree with Sandra P. Cynthia is navigating the friendship very well. She's old school. She know how to do it. Cynthia, to me, when she was better like this than she was like as a peach holder. She's more interesting like this. It's like she get the information. She kind of put her, her analogy on it and give it to people, and and she's not judging anybody. She's taking it, and I know everybody want to be for Porsha, and Porsha ain't said nothing, and this and that. But I have to validate Shamea's feelings too, because they are genuine. I think, and they are genuine because of some other stuff that's going on. But I do think, in my opinion, I feel like Shamea feels like her feelings are not validated with Porsha. And I can get that because, Porsha has done that before. But, I'm not all for the graphics and, the crying and this and that. Girl, if she ain't your friend, she ain't your friend. Cut it loose. Let it go like a goose. Okay? Just cut the neck. Move on. If y'all can't come to a agreement after all these years of friendship, and just because y'all been friends for years, don't mean that they your friend. Yeah, it just don't.
I agree.
So
I agree.
I found that out. So y'all, I don't know. I feel like the friendship is strained because of the run back. Now Angela, she gonna take that bone. So Shamea, you tell Angela anything, Angela gonna take that bone, and she trying to keep her peach. She $2 million in the hole. She need to pay them bills that Charles is not gonna pay. Okay. Charles said $2 million. What? You got your ass in it. You gonna dig your ass out. Point blank period. So that's all I
think that they all know that that's how the show works, though.
Yeah.
Each one runs back and tells somebody something.
They said they've been trying to get Angela on the show for years. She wouldn't come because of Sheree.
Is that why they fired Sheree? That's ugly.
If they had to pick one, I could see them choosing Angela. Sheree won't show a lot. Sheree won't show a lot, but she carries the bone. She's more friend of too. She could be a friend of.
Cool Cat said D got her beat. So you gonna have to calm D down about Porsha. she about Porsha like she about Shamea. Ain't nothing wrong with but you say you don't like Shamea like that. You just I don't know.
I like both. I think both their personalities are strong, but there's a deeper connection, and I think Porsha is not saying a lot about Shamea because a lot of stuff that Porsha don't want to come out. I'm just saying.
I don't know if it's that maybe she didn't want what came out today to come out. But now that that's out, I think all the gloves are going to be off. Everybody already know they both was thoughts. Shamea was thought just as much as Porsha was before she got married.
And maybe Shamea grew up and Porsha got married
at man's house the first night she met him and slept with his ass. Okay, she wouldn't did all that. So that told me right there what kind of woman she was at the time. So she got lucky and she married a nice old rich man. Great. But them girls was both out there together. So I think they both ain't going to want, especially Shamea, nobody to know what they was doing. I think the stuff between the mamas caused that fracture. I don't know, because the mamas been, sure they've been broke up.
I'm going to tell you why I feel like that. Because Porsha went in for no reason. Shamea didn't say nothing about her mama bad.
No, I think Porsha went in because of this right now. Now I
understand the IG story, Sassy. You mean the IG story where Porsha met up? And then I think so too. I think it does stem back to the mother, because we get to see Miss Diane this season in Porsha's ear about Shamea. And she's been doing that for years, and we get to see it now.
I think it's the mothers, and I think that Porsha knew, including the mothers in the conversation, was going to do just what happened now. It makes the viewers curious. They want to know what happened. So then they do a deep dive to see if they can find something. And what did they find? Today it came out. The reason why Porsha's mother's mad is because she got into a tough time and was about to lose her daycare. And she confided in Shamea's mother, who ended up turning around buying the daycare. Her own.
Rightfully so.
And Porsha mama got mad because they've been garnishing Porsha's money, her money. They've been doing a lot of stuff. Then they ended up that
No,
that
I think the
daycare when
garnishment happened after the daycare. I thought, because both the garnishment had to do with the suit.
it happened after that lawsuit with the what was it, the 620, whenever that was, the baby passed away, the 2-year-old. Before then, they were garnishing, and then they got back on feet. And then that baby passed, and then they ended up in this lawsuit. And then that's when she went back with the all night baby. Portia's mom went back with the idea of the all night 24-hour baby.
After the baby passed, she the all night one, or that was
yeah, and then it didn't do good. And then Shamea's mama bought it, and they've been fighting ever since. And Portia don't want people to know that.
Yeah,
so
I don't
the
see how
baby
that's
stuff happened
egregious.
before the mother
Yeah,
stuff.
somebody picks up a business that's for sale because you couldn't manage it. You mismanaged it.
So
Don't get mad at
happened first. So then they were sued for $5 million.
I heard about that.
Right. So then that put them in a tough spot. And then the friend went knowing that she was being sued for $5 million and bought her property.
I heard this a long time ago. I heard that she married Cordell because she thought Cordell was an easy peasy
and I
to
believe
get the
that
money.
about Porsha. I believe that about Porsha. She's
Cordell's good with his money.
Yeah.
He said that he alluded to how much. Yeah, he alluded to how much he was helping her, and allegedly it was involved in helping make payroll.
Her mama,
the ducks were in a row.
Yeah.
And
he said her mama was spending too much money.
Yeah,
he was tired of it.
I believe that too.
Yeah, he bought his house cash. They were running all over the man's house, jumping off the roof. So yeah, it goes back a long way between her and that mama. Jumping off the roof into the
Oh wow! But didn't they have insurance on the daycare? Didn't that daycare pay for the $5 million settlement?
Oh, I don't know who paid for it because I didn't.
Can or not? It depends on if somebody's at fault. Yeah, insurance can.
Because the little boy was left in the he was left in the van.
That's what I'm saying.
I just did something on my channel about that.
If you're at cars,
I did it yesterday.
If the baby was left alone and everybody's gone or something, and somebody's at fault, insurance may or may not pay. So it just depends. I don't know all the details, but some of the rules.
That's negligent. If you left,
that is negligent. Yes,
they went to
tragic. It's tragic.
Allegedly and left the baby. Allegedly and left the baby in there.
Right. So that would be negligent.
Yeah, that's tragic.
Insurance would be responsible for that.
Yeah.
So that would get mad at somebody about that. Portion of them income was being garnished because they owed those people that money.
All that money.
So, yeah. I could
see
and
then they had other loans and stuff too.
Right. So then I could see them going in default and all that bad stuff happening.
With Apex,
I'm not bothered to see why Miss Diane would be upset. I'm not bothered's comment. I'm not bothered is has a comment related to what we were talking about.
I wonder if that is what Simple Simon was going to expose. Oh, I don't know.
Probably.
Because Porsha threatened him too about
Portia's mother would be mad.
Don't start threatening my mama.
Yeah, she didn't want her
mama. It's a lot of stuff. Now, from my little small circle, from my Porsha mama been doing this from the R. Kelly stuff, sending her out ever since, video vixens, and I feel like this. I feel like Shamea was fighting with her.
We don't.
But she admitted that she was there with R. Kelly.
I don't know nothing about that.
Yeah, I'm just saying allegedly and all that.
I never heard that before.
Yeah, she got a book about it.
Yeah,
and I feel like Shamea and Porsha both was doing similar stuff. Maybe Shamea got married and grew up, and then Porsha, she wanted to grow up, but she's choosing these men out of necessity and not out of love.
Right. Well, a lot of women are saying that they're not going to marry for love no more. Like Toni Braxton, she's not marrying for love no more. They're going to marry for comfort.
For comfort.
Well, but make sure the man is legal though, legit.
Yeah, they said a lot of women have said they're not going to marry for love no more. They marry for comfort.
Hell, I know if I get divorced, that's what I'm doing. I'm not marrying for no love. Not me.
I don't know. I feel bad for Portia's mom right now. I feel bad for Shamea's mom because neither one of them really signed up to be full throttle housewives to have all their business plastered all over the internet. So I'm sure both of them are not comfortable right now. because they both.
Well, I mean, all
Yeah,
this
but see,
stuff
this
is gonna come up. It's gonna come up.
But what
I
happened?
didn't say
What,
that's
my
what
whole
I'm
thing,
saying. I bet you they
why
both
haven't it been
probably.
came up?
You say what?
Why haven't it been came up? Why haven't it been came up? You know how they, they get into it on, the housewives, and they go for the gutter. Why nobody haven't been brung this up about
I had heard something about it years ago, but it never did register. I didn't pay it no attention. But I had heard about this, and then somebody, and I said, I remember hearing about it, but it just didn't make, what I'm saying? Back then, Nene was making it, and I care less about Porsha and all that stuff. I was into Nene and Nene squashing them and all that. So it just I didn't care about it then. But now, see, the mothers is causing this rift with their, animosity. I mean, it's Diane.
Well, we can't really say they started it though.
Well, I'm just
Because
saying,
the
I
men
feel
started.
like they're gonna take their mom's, side.
Oh, well, they're gonna take their daughter's side. That's normal. I would do
Yeah.
that for my daughter. But Shamea started this on the show with the group.
Yeah.
Shamea did that because Shamea went to the girls talking about Porsha and all the things
Drew
that
and
she felt
Angela.
like she did and how she felt and blah blah blah. And then they went back and told Porsha. So that started the whole train moving.
Angela went back and told Porsha.
Yeah, but Angela would have had nothing to tell her if Shamea didn't tell her.
I know. I'm just saying because Drew said she wasn't gonna say nothing. Angela said, "I don't know this bitch." She went and told Porsha. I'm just saying that's where it was. I don't know you.
Yeah.
So I'd rather be in with Porsha than I will be in with you because Porsha is who they loving on the show, and I'm gonna be in with Porsha, so I'm going to tell your shit.
Yeah, Angela's told stuff on both of them, and Angela moving them around like pieces on the chessboard. That keeps them
boy,
she gets. Yeah, now we're gonna learn more about her and her stuff if she come back for another season.
Yeah.
But right now, she's able to get them to talk about each other.
She doing a good job too, boy.
Yeah, she's managing it.
So,
wait a minute, Porsha put this out there intentionally for a sympathy story, and because she had no story, she plotted that. Huh? Are you talking about the post that she made? The post and delete?
Well, she definitely tried to mama. She tried to stick her fans on Shamea and turn the narrative against Shamea. Definitely, because I see it changing.
Who said shut up? What
happened? What did you say, Sandra P?
I think that Porsha is definitely giving enough breadcrumbs to stick her fans on Shamea and kind of change the narrative against Shamea. I see it happening in real time.
Wait, which narrative?
That Shamea
because she's not saying nothing. She's not talking about
nothing, and she's always been jealous of Porsha. And Portia's going through this hard time, and Shamea's
I don't recall no fans saying that Shamea is jealous of Porsha, so I don't think nobody's going with that.
I see that I see that up in every comment section. I see that.
Yeah, I don't see that. I see Porsha is jealous of Shamea. I see that a lot, but I think people are starting to see now that Shamea started all this for a storyline. But I don't think that. At least I know I'm not saying that Shamea is jealous of Porsha. I don't see either one of those girls being jealous. I think they both calculating and manipulative as shit, and that's why they both got along so good.
Yeah. They are very, because y'all, when Porsha said, if I can just see Simon and talk to him face to face, she know how to manipulate. She know what she gonna do.
She thinks she's gonna shake that butt at him, but the way he was talking, he sounded like he don't want it no more. He had already replaced her in Dubai. She was mad about that.
Child, if Porsha was a stripper, so what? Nene was a stripper. Cardi B was a stripper.
A stripper.
No,
there's a lot of strippers out here, so
just because Dom was a stripper.
In Atlanta, that's not really
in Atlanta, that's was a stripper. And people still living their good life.
Them strippers make more money than I do.
Yeah, nobody ain't tripping off.
Some of them, they drive better cars, make more money.
Isn't changing. The tide isn't changing about Shamea because of Porsha. It's because people are seeing Shamea for who she is. Let's see. Porsha was never.
I never heard that either. I never heard that.
I never heard that either.
No, I ain't never heard Porsha was a stripper.
That's what
I
I
know
never
she
heard.
like to
Porsha
shake it
is
up.
yeah,
If
Porsha
she
has
was,
a
so what?
legacy in Atlanta. She's the granddaughter of Hosea Williams. There's certain
Yeah.
Porsha has a pedigree that a lot of people don't recognize, but it is there. Now, Miss Diane, I'm not going to give that to her. I don't know what the relationship was with the son, Hosea Feed the Hungry son. I don't know. I heard different things about it, but Porsha definitely is legacy in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see her stripping. I hadn't heard that. Yeah, BK
I
and
definitely ain't
Watson
never heard
was
that,
not.
Sandra P. I
He
ain't
was
never
not.
heard that.
Kind of dropped little
Anyway, drop the
breadcrumbs or
T.
something.
What's happening? She's still there. She
Might be
froze.
on mute because I'll go on mute in a minute and forget.
Okay. All right. So we see a clip of Shamea and Porsha at the restaurant. Then we see a clip of Kelly. She at her restaurant. Then we go into the scene where Porsha, Cynthia, and Angela they meet for bowling. So the girls get together, and Cynthia makes a joke about Portia's butt. She was talking about how big Porsha's butt is, and then Cynthia just starts talking about how big Porsha butt is. Porsha has a nice shape to me. Porsha said her butt is not a BBL. Okay, she said that it's grown cornbread and greens. Okay, but we're gonna go with that. Porsha said that's how her butt was made. She does not have a BBL because she has the tummy tuck, and also she got her breast down, but no BBL. So I'm just gonna go with that. Okay, because I don't know. Let me know if y'all know in the chat. Okay, so they get to talking and things like that. And then Porsha in confessional says she has a headache. But then they go into Porsha starts telling Angela and Cynthia that when she leaves and stuff now, PJ is kind of clinging to her like, where you going, when you gonna come back, and things like that. So she's not taking well to the divorce. Not the divorce. Well to them not being in the house with Simon and I guess the other kids. And then she's asking for Papa, which is Simon. I guess she called him Papa. And she's also saying that Porsha saying that she tried to text Simon and Simon left them on red. He didn't try to reply back or anything. And she feeling like Polaris is feeling a little sad and things about that. Now, I would say that if Simon doesn't want to talk to Porsha, that's fine. He can at least talk to Polara. If they built a relationship, she knows Dennis is her dad, and she's calling Simon Papa or what have you. So he could at least talk to the child. Now, I do think that. And we see it a lot when the parents, like just say the kids have a stepfather or something like that. And when they break up with the woman and the kids. What do the kids got to do with it? I think you should still be able to have a conversation with the kids too, even though y'all not together anymore. The kids should not be brought into that. You should still be able to talk to the kids and things like that. And I don't think Porsha would have a problem with that. But I think Simon does. He has a problem with still keeping, open communication with Polara. Now, we do know he's in ICE detention, but he can make phone calls and stuff. So I think he should still reach out to Polara, and it looks like Porsha does not have a problem with him doing that. And so Cynthia starts to talk about her and Cynthia, they started to talk about Shamea, and she said she told Shamea that, give it a little time, Porsha just needs a break and things like that. So they're trying to, just let Shamea know that I don't think, y'all friendship is over with. Y'all just need a break from each other, because that can be a lot where you just used to seeing your best friend maybe on the weekends or during the week. But now that your best friend is, kind of in your workspace, in your space now, it may be a little much, and it probably is a little bit a little much. How can I put it? A little much than what you bargained for. Seeing your friend every day and probably seeing everybody clinging to her because of the house and the things that she have, you maybe were not expecting that, and that's probably taken a little bit for Porsha to adjust to. I think maybe Porsha feels like the ladies on the show are her friends or what have you, and maybe she feel like Shamea is coming in on her territory. And we also heard Shamea say that if this is a problem for her, she can go back to her regular life. So Shamea's, to me, it's like she said, she is willing to not come back on. She could, go to her regular life if this is causing a problem for her and Portia's relationship. But Cynthia M is telling her and Angela, just give it a minute and, let, Porsha just catch her bearings, because Porsha is going through stuff. She's going through a divorce and things like that. She's also going with the betrayal from Drew, with the stuff that Drew did. So she's got a lot going on right now. Also, she still hasn't got her divorce from Simon yet. So she's got a lot going on with that. And then also, allegedly, if the house is in foreclosure, she has to find another place to live, and things like that, because the house she has, allegedly, she gave it to her mom. So that's a lot she's going through. Okay. So then we go to Porsha in confessional. She says that she doesn't want to, lose her friend. She doesn't want to divorce her friend, which is Shamea. She already divorced Simon. She don't want to divorce her friend right now. Okay. She doesn't want to do that, So, she's trying to balance it all out. So then we go into Drew and her mom. Drew mom is in the car. She's talking to Drew. And they're talking about Ralph and things like that. Drew mom is saying that, she really didn't know that Ralph was like that. And Drew mom flew down to come and be with Drew because Drew is going through a lot with the divorce with Ralph. And Drew was telling her mom, how Ralph, things that he's doing to her. Like he locked her, he changed the code on the door where she couldn't get in the house. She had to stay at the hotel. Then finally he went through the basement and came up to the front and opened up the door for her. Then she's telling her mother how Ralph is trying to get her attorney recused from her case. And then also her attorney dissolved Drew Sidora, and Drew Sidora, the Drew Sidora, what we call it, her Drew Sidora brand, and she made another one. So now Ralph found out about it. Now Ralph is saying that he wants 40% of the Drew Sidora that they dissolved and of the new one. So Ralph also found out that she has one in LA and one in Chicago. He wants 40% of each one of those. Now, Drew says that Ralph does pretty good for himself. He makes over $200,000. My question is, why are you trying to drain Drew? Now, my thing is, I thought once you file for a divorce, anything you do after that, because when you file for the divorce, it's supposed to be like a legal separation. So anything that you accrue after you file from the divorce, it should be yours. Just like anything just like any bills you accrue after when you file for the divorce and y'all in a legal separation, but y'all not quite divorced yet, but y'all in a legal separation, that's on you. Whatever you accrue when y'all go ahead down there to file for divorce, and from my understanding, y'all are legally separated right now. Y'all just haven't got the divorce. So anything that you do after that, that's yours, and whatever he do after that, that's his. So just say, for instance, you win the lottery. From my understanding here in Wisconsin, you are not entitled to that, because once we go to this divorce, we're going to get a legal separation right now. So if I win the lottery, just say anything after that point, that's mine. Any bills that are occur after we got this legal separation, that's mine. That's how Wisconsin works, but I don't know how other states work. But anyway, so they're talking about, how low down and dirty that Ralph is doing. He's in the basement. So Drew's mother is on her way over to the house or whatever. So once Drew's mother gets there, they start talking and things like that. And she starts telling Drew, like, why is, Ralph in the basement and things like that? Why is Ralph not, have not left? She said, because you're confusing the kids. And then Drew starts to say that her kids do their gymnastics and things like that in the house. Her mother said, well, y'all kids are different. Y'all didn't do, gymnastics and things like that in the house. Then Drew's mother goes on to say that the kids are different. They don't listen and things like that. And then Drew's mother says, now, there's a problem when I tell the kids to do something and they don't want to listen. There's a problem. She said, your kids are, kind of getting out of control, and they've been affected by this, this divorce. And she's telling Drew that, she needs to do something about this. Drew starts crying. She needs to take a minute. She walks out, goes into the dining room. She takes a minute. She comes back in. Her mother says she didn't mean to make her cry, but, she needs to tell her that, that the kids are getting out of control because the kids don't know, really what's going on. Why is their dad in the basement? They're upstairs, and it's not helping the kids one way or the other. And, she's trying to tell Drew that. And, and Drew was like, I didn't know that, this was affecting my kids. And, then Drew's mother says, I didn't mean to make you cry, but it is what it is, that the kids are out of control. So, what do you think about that, T-Talk? T-Talk? T-Talk.
I was on mute. I'm sorry.
You up there making these faces?
I was talking.
Oh, okay. All right.
They can't hear me.
Yeah,
with Drew and her mama, how do Drew not know what's going on with her children? That's the first thing.
Thank you.
But her mama told her.
No, I think she should know before her mama, though.
Okay.
Don't you think? The kids see you every day. You ain't gonna know that your children acting up.
Maybe it's a generational gap because when our mamas tell us to sit down, they sit down, and maybe they just not doing that with Drew mama.
Yeah, and these kids that like right now,
but they didn't look like they were doing it with Drew neither, Sassy. Because didn't you see them?
Yeah, that's true.
Them children weren't listening to her.
I don't think they listen to neither one of them. Ralph either. I think they just let them run free.
Yeah, they wasn't listening to Drew.
Mm-mm.
They was not listening at all.
Nope.
So yeah, I think that Drew full of shit. I don't like her and Ralph having to live in the same house. Because let me tell you something. That is hard. That is hard. It is hard to be around the same person that caused you the pain in the first place.
Well, he can't come upstairs.
It don't matter.
Downstairs. Just his presence in my damn house. You know what that means? I can't move on.
Yeah. Right. That means he still has control.
I can't move on.
Well, the judge won't make him leave. The judge said he can stay down there.
Right. So that means she basically can't move on. She can't really move on. And a mother, let's just be honest, a mother is attached to the child most of the time. Okay. So then how does she really move on with him just right down in the basement? She can't really live her life. It's like the court down south is just backwards or something.
What wonder can Drew move out the house?
No disrespect to nobody from down there, but I'm just saying it just seems like I don't believe I'm going through what I'm going through, but not only just for the courts because of decisions that we have to make. There's people have to get themselves together so they can go on. But what I'm saying is, the courts are not going to say to us, you guys got to stay in the same house. That's where a lot of bad stuff happens. When two people that are trying to separate are forced to be together, in my opinion. So,
Well, do you think Drew can move out if she wanted to?
yeah, she make enough money, she could.
But do
she
you
wanna
think the
live in that
court?
big old house?
But do you think the courts will let her move out and take those kids though?
Yeah, why wouldn't they? They not. I don't think they forcing her to stay there with the kids. I
But
think she's staying there because she want to stay in the house, and Ralph want to stay in the house. So Ralph went to his lawyers first before Drew and told his lawyers that it's a great idea that he could just live in the basement. And the lawyer presented it to the court in a way that they accepted it.
But I thought Ralph said he wants to be around his kids. But if Drew move out with the kids,
yeah, but the judge can't force you to stay in that kind of situation. I don't think so.
But then what about taking the kids? He might say that he don't want her to take those kids.
But they ain't all his anyway, is they?
The oldest one ain't.
Right. So the family, you got to keep the kids together. So therefore, she's the mother of all the kids. So the kids got to go with her.
Ralph just don't like Drew.
He bought that house.
That's not about it. But her money helped contribute it too. So I think his narcissistic behind need to move. But we all know he ain't moving. So
and then you see his dad in the car with him when they was going to court. His daddy's like, they want you to move out your house that you pay the mortgage on. His daddy is putting that stuff in that shit in his ear too.
Yeah. Because his daddy should have said, you go ahead and move out and make that your child support. You go ahead and pay that mortgage and you go find you somewhere else.
Yeah. Because you got kids by her, boy. That woman need that house. You need to get your own place.
Her black ass know when that baby turned 18, that's your last payment. That's
right.
Yeah, but the daddy is not saying that. So we know.
No, because the daddy just like him.
Yeah. Daddy's a fucked up individual. That's it. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that. She said daddy is dead. Well, he said his daddy was in the car.
There was a man in the car was telling him that. That his daddy. Remember that man that was in the car with him? Remember that man?
I don't know who it was, but
yeah, they didn't say who it was.
What was he telling Ralph? Tell me, they trying to make you pay a mortgage on trying to put you out your own house that you pay a mortgage on? Who was that man? He looked like his daddy.
It called marriage and it's called divorce. And unfortunately, that's what happens in marriage, and then that's what happened in divorce.
Did y'all remember the older man that was in the car with him? Do y'all remember that older man that was in the car with Ralph when they was going to court?
I don't know if it's his dad, uncle, or who it was. I don't know. They never said. I just heard them say it.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. I see somebody yawning.
Look at her eyes. Look at her eyes.
Chinese, honey. Chinese.
Sandman trying to take me out.
You can beat him, boo. You can beat him.
You said if a woman chooses to be free, just move on. Drew is going to lose everything. I wouldn't pay her child support either. Oh, but he got to pay child support. He got baby by her. He got baby by her.
That girl worked hard on her music. She deserves her money. He don't deserve all that. That she worked hard, regardless of what we don't like about Drew.
And I forgot that Drop the T had talked about Porsha and Simon and PJ. This is what I want to say. PJ ain't been around that man long enough that she need to fall out, cry, die. She got a whole daddy that loved the shit out of her. Call her daddy up and tell her some bitch, listen, she over here trying to go through something over there, and he need to come get his daughter. Because I don't know what Porsha thinks she talking about. PJ crying for Papa. She got a whole daddy.
No, T-Talk. No. Tell when Pilar get to acting like that, tell Dennis to come out the kitchen and get his daughter and spend some time.
But there you go. Instead of cooking them hot dogs. Tell Dennis
because Dennis is over there at the house. Allegedly.
Tell Dennis to turn them hot dogs down because Dennis is sure enough hiding his hot dog in a bun right over there in Simon's house. Right over there.
All up in that man's house, okay? Dennis paying that mortgage.
You know Dennis said that on the thing they go together.
Yeah, he said forever.
He said they go together. Shit.
Oh, Dennis said they go
And she's like,
Dennis said they go
and he
together.
kissed her.
He tried to
They
kiss
go
her.
together. They just wait until this divorce is over.
She said, stop until that camera go off. And when that divorce is over, like Sassy said, oh, then all of a sudden they're going to be rekindled.
Yep.
Oh, we realize.
And she might be, we gonna have a baby. Pilar's gonna have a brother.
We realize that we still love each
That
other.
we love each other.
But you know, Drew said that Dennis ain't her type of guy because she like a man with a physique, not no man with no
Dennis
belly.
said she like muscles, not belly.
She like muscles, not good.
Yeah. And that's why he's trying to rip her ass off every dime
that belly that she might got to get a crane and lift that bitch up to find something. Speaking of that, while I got some of y'all up in here, I got some of you. We got 188 people in here. Make sure y'all liking the video wherever you are. If you want to be kind,
yes, please. And be respectful in the chat because I saw something.
Friday night, we're going to be talking about if you don't use that coochie, you can lose that coochie.
It's going to shrivel up.
Okay, come on through. We're going to be over here.
It's going to shrivel up.
Don't shit, huh?
What you say it's going to shrivel up?
They said
the wall's going to get old and wrinkled.
So I was watching Nene Leakes and she was interviewing Tamar. And she happened to mention one of her friends that she had who had a bad divorce. And because she had a bad divorce, she decided she wasn't going to have intercourse. So she stopped having intercourse for 4 years. Then finally she said, all right, after 4 years, I'm going to get me some. And when she went to go get some, her coochie said, he not coming up in here. The shop is closed. So she was left with a broken coochie and she got to go through all this stuff. So I just happened to know somebody with the same life situation, and they're going to come on the show and they're going to tell us about their experience, because what that lady experienced was she thought she had fell in love. So she was ready to give up her coochie. She tried to give it up. The coochie didn't work and she lost the man. So we want to talk about that and how it makes you feel, because, you know, you went from knowing that you had this, or you thought you had this, you know, hot box down there. And then when they went there, it said not, and it won't work no more. So we want to talk about it. They said you got to use that coochie, or you
lose the coochie.
What you gonna do?
Okay,
I'm gonna use mine, boss.
Gotta use it. Cheers to that.
I'm going to lose.
Cheers to that. I'm drinking some wine. So lose it
or you're going to lose. Okay, so we're going to be talking about that on Friday night, about 8 o'clock. I call it after dark, but, you know. You don't use that coochie.
You're going to lose it.
Work. Did she have a hysterectomy? No, ma'am. Ain't never had no parts removed. If you
can't get it wet no more.
It can't get wet.
You go to the bathroom and you thinking life is normal, but in reality, it's some stuff going on down there, and it just kind of seals up.
It tightens up.
And then
all of a sudden, that it's tight. That's good that it's tight.
No, they can't get in no more. Drop the T. It's not good.
Oh. Yeah.
No, they literally can't get in.
Well, because the muscles are atrophied. It's like your hands like this, and you never move them. You can't pull them back open.
Well, maybe she using.
So she's gonna have to go get them little things and do therapy up in there. She's gonna have to go get a rejuvenation.
Okay, well, she could use
a coochie rejuvenation.
Look, she could use a vibrator to make sure, you know.
No, you don't want to do that. You might rip something. You want to go to the doctor.
Vibrator. She dropped off. She'll be back. This is a public service announcement. I'm all ears. What time is alive happening? It's happening Friday night at 8 o'clock. Now, what I'm
telling
thinking
the blind lady, they be missing out on our channel.
What I'm thinking
I be
about
talking
is
out.
a live conversation with her where I'll set up where y'all can just see me, and then she'll be there, and we'll just kind of, because that'll make it just even fun. She said I might get her house, so I might go there and have like a live discussion with her. So either way, it's Friday night, y'all. We doing it. Okay.
Somebody said it's dried up.
Somebody said it's dried up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a prune out in the sun.
Yeah.
The thing will dry up, girl. You gotta exercise that thing.
Yeah.
She said, get one of those dusty roses for 99 cents.
Ew, don't get that rose.
Jeanette says, regarding Nene Leakes, why people talk about Porsha being with an almost divorced man. Nene is with a man who is not divorced. Candy baby daddy was married. Isn't Sandra P next?
Yeah.
No.
All right.
I thought it was me.
I gotta go to I'm sorry, I gotta go to Sassy. So Sassy, what do you think about what I said about Porsha and them meeting at the bowling alley and about Pilara?
Well, Pilar don't know that man. She just know he was in the house for about less than a year, and that's it. Pilar be all right. So Porsha need to start using that. Pilar has a daddy, a family that loves her, and that man don't care. He over there at ICE. All he worried about is trying to break her mama down. So why would you want your child to be around somebody like that? I wouldn't. Sorry.
Okay, how do you feel about them saying that they need to? Cynthia said that she told Porsha that they told Shamea that she needs to give Porsha a little time, and Porsha said that she don't want to divorce her friend, which is Shamea.
Well, I do. I agree. I think Porsha is going through a lot. I do think so, but I also think there's a lot that's not being said. But I do believe Shamea wants this resolved on TV in her way, but it's not working. It's not working. And really and truly, Porsha ain't got to say nothing. She's making herself look bad because she's doing all the talking. Period. I mean, if you shut up, talk about it out scene or have a scene or something, and I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot. Them two and they'll fight, break up, be back friends. I think Shamea wants the friendship a lot more, but she want to be heard. And for some reason, she feels like she's not being heard with Porsha. And that's her feelings, and we can't deny that. So, hey, it is what it is.
Okay. All right, what you
can't deny Shamea feelings, but we sure can deny that Shamea started all this, though.
Yeah, I ain't denying she started. But she should have known not to say something in front of somebody she don't know.
The problem when Shamea started it all.
Well, we ain't look. Porsha ain't no flybacker. Porsha,
yeah, but we can't keep going by what Porsha used to do if we talking about the show. Because we talking about what we doing to each other.
I talk about behaviors with Porsha. I'm just saying, off the camera, on the camera, these two have had some stuff. Because Shamea said, off the camera, Porsha is one way. On the camera, she's a different way. And when she said, I ain't gonna be that way, they don't pay me enough. So there has been some conversation off this camera about something going on. And I feel like it's more than what we see. I feel like Porsha want to control the narrative, and she's doing it. She's doing it.
I think because she don't want to tear down that friendship on camera don't mean that make her a bad person. I personally wouldn't.
I didn't say she was a bad person.
But that's what she's talking about. She want Porsha to sit on camera for us and go through all this bullshit and then make up like it never happened because she's done it for Porsha.
Well, I feel like this. If you get lopsided friendship, then at some point you got to be the bigger person to walk away.
Well,
if you feel like you're not being heard in a relationship, if you feel like you're not being a friend, and I'm always being the one there for you, I'm always the one showing up when nobody else show up, and then I feel like you don't hear me, then it's my choice to walk away from that. I'm going to be with people. I'm going to be with a friend that loves me. And when I show up, they appreciate me. Vice versa.
I agree.
Yeah.
I don't want nobody half in, half out. If you don't love me as a friend or as a sister, and we've been through hell and back, some people could be in your life all your life, and you think they love you down, then the whole time they despise you. So
Yes.
it is
Yes.
what it is.
I'm getting emotional. Let me get myself together because I love y'all.
Oh, I
'cause
love
y'all-
you too. I love y'all. I'm glad I have we met. And we're like sis. I had a revelation. I had to come to that.
Yeah, my friend. I had a friend like that. I loved her so much, and I would do anything for her. And I just
me too. And I come to find out the way they move.
Yeah.
And my peeps will tell you the way this happened to me. I don't blame him. I blame her because we friends. You knew better. I thought you were, but at this point, nah.
I was
over
there listening to it. I was over there listening to you, Sassy.
Yeah, I want Sassy to elaborate after the friendship scene with Shamea and Porsha. After the last scene, I hope we have time.
Yeah, because I want you to elaborate on that.
Yes,
that is important. And I felt that what you was talking about over there, because I got my 2 channels. Y'all know. But yeah, I was over there listening to you. I felt so bad about that.
Me too.
Y'all know I get sensitive. I start crying, so I get kind of sensitive. I was really sensitive.
You drinking that wine too, child. Put it up.
The cut water. It's the cut water.
Yeah, y'all know I get sensitive.
Yeah.
I get sensitive. I don't like that because I had well, we'll talk about it after this. Okay, Sandra, how do you feel about Pelora and about Porsha talking about she don't want to divorce Shamea, and about the bowling alley?
Bowling alley scene I thought was fun. I thought they all looked really cute. I thought Angela looked really good. Angela, is always picking at Porsha about her butt. Porsha, she doesn't claim the BBL, but just from the way her body type was, I don't believe her. But they all looked good in the scene. I liked the conversation they had. I liked how jokey and friendly they were. And let's see, the other scene you talked about, Drew on the phone. Drew seemed to have had the worst of the lawyers as far as what goes on between her and Ralph.
Yes.
She mentioned the LLC and all of that. I feel like she should have got rid of that lawyer instead of waiting for the lady to be recused. And then as far as the mother and Drew, I liked that the mother flew in. I thought it was funny that the mother was, when she first talked to her in the car, the mother is 80, but she's savvy as far as with her technology and stuff. She said, I'm on my iPad and my phone. So it was funny. She was on 2 screens and had to close one. Then they showed when she flew in, and Drew still had her chef over there. Chef was cooking, but the kids are kind of going through some stuff. So I don't know why Drew's crying that she don't remember. I think Drew's upset that came on camera because the mother was just having a real moment and being real. And Drew's used to managing scenes and pretending everything's perfect. So I didn't mind seeing the realness. I was actually glad to see it on screen. Sorry the kids are going through over Ralph. And the mother has some choice words about Ralph. He shouldn't be down in the basement. We've all agreed on that. He's conniving. Yeah. I think he is conniving. And the fact that he locked her out of the house, I think is disgraceful, not to mention dangerous. I'm glad that Drew didn't go in the house because she said he came from somewhere else and went in the basement or whatever. But that type of man who seemed to have no feelings, anything could have happened if you entered their space. And he claimed, well, I didn't know who it was or what. I don't trust Ralph like that. I don't trust anybody who'd be that mean in a divorce like that. So that was pretty good. I'll move on to the next scenes, which would be the ones after Drew and her mother. We have Miss LaMargaret, Angela's beautiful mother, her twin, receive her wings. So rest in peace to her, but we get to see her on the screen. She came over to Angela's house. I thought, Angela, oh my, you look cute. I thought that was cute.
Wait a minute, what happened?
Angela's mother. Angela put a post up that she lost her mother. Her mother passed away, Miss LaMargaret.
Yeah, her mom passed away.
Yeah, that we just met in this episode.
Yeah.
Now, we may see her in future episodes, but yeah, she is now
passed away. Yeah.
Yep. And it was recent, Drop the T.
Yeah, because she just bought a house. They just got a house.
Yeah, and she's in this scene. That is so, and it's so. I'm glad they have this scene because they talked about she came in. Angela was talking to her about the mother let her know we got the keys. So I guess the mother is still with the daughter that she was living with, Angela's sister. I'd like to know more about that. They showed a picture of Angela, the sister, and her mother. The sister's name is always blacked out. And then also in the picture, they blurred that out. So the sister's like, don't show me at all. Don't talk about me. So there's a story there. So I'm sure we'll find something in the future. But what they're sharing now is Angela's mother, Miss LaMargaret, got the keys. Angela lets us know, confessional Angela lets us know she paid $490,000 for the house. It's her dream to take care of her mother. But as we saw earlier this season, what was going on with Amari's going over there. I need the car my mother bought and all this kind of stuff. And her and the honor getting into it. And then all Amari seemed to share with Angela was that she called her a demon. But we don't know any backstory. Not that there's an excuse, but we don't know if you running over there in the people's house just because your mother put money on it or not. So I like the scene with her and her mother. But then confessional Angela gets in the confessional and she says, this is going to take some weight off of me not paying for this house for them. And then she lets us know, and I have done so much for them. I've set up businesses, all this kind of stuff. She kind of continued the conversation that she had with Charles. So I find that interesting that Angela wants to let everybody know what she paid for and all of that. So she said the mother says that she hadn't spoken with Charles in 3 years. And Angela says, well, what is actually behind it? The mother lets us know that Charles said something to her about your daughter need to clean, which we've seen T-Talk has alluded to. He might be kind of ODD, but he doesn't play around about keeping things spotless. We've seen Angela come down while he's cooking and just be sitting there while he's kind of cleaning up as he goes along. So that rubbed the mother the wrong way. The mother said, he's talking about my child. She said she kind of bucked up on him. And Angela made a joke. What you gonna do? Blow on him? Because Charles is big, y'all. But the mother is, Miss LaMargaret was had no fear. And she and Charles got into it over Angela. And we see how he talks to her. So everybody doesn't like to see that. So she said, I want to write him a letter. She said, he is my son in love. I liked how she said that. He's my son in love and I love him. And I want to write him a letter. So I hope Miss LaMargaret got that letter to Charles. And I hope that they were able to make things right. So the next scene, we have Kelly and Chloe driving. The first thing I noticed, and I always notice when they're on screen together, we talk about Kelly's fillers and that sort of thing, but Kelly and Chloe have the same exact face. I think they're so cute together, but Chloe is in this huge Cadillac Escalade. I learned how to drive in a Ford Escort. A Cadillac Escalade on an Atlanta city street, it was just, she was giving me anxiety, and Kelly was sitting there just having a fit, screaming, my anxiety. Chloe was, she didn't have her hands like how you taught on 10 and 2. She was just driving. And she was also kind of almost side swiping, like not in the correct lane. And then Kelly was keeping up a running conversation with Chloe while Chloe was trying to drive. So they were talking about the kind of car Chloe wants. She wants a BMW. She says she'll take the small one. Kelly says that even if I get you a BMW, you got to be able to pay for it, like your maintenance and the gas and stuff like that. Chloe says she's going to be working. She's going to be working at Nana's Chicken and Waffles. But it seems like Kelly wants her in some type, maybe training her toward management, because she said, I'll be interviewing. I want you to sit in on that. Now, we know Chloe's 17, so I could sitting in on interviews. I don't know. I would think a starting job, maybe you would be a server or a hostess or menus or just something. I could see learning every aspect of the restaurant since that's her mom's business. So I found that really interesting. I found it a cute scene. Chloe did tell Kelly, well, you can afford it, because Kelly told her she started off driving in a hatchback. So I don't know what today's version of a hatchback is, but I don't know if Chloe should start off with a BMW or not, the way she was driving. Oh, I forgot to mention the scene with Drew and her mom. I like the fact that they were playing Drew's song, Delulu, when Drew went to the mailbox in her silk pajamas. I thought that was really nice. I put that in the notes, so I just wanted to mention that. And let's see, the next scene. Let's see. Well, actually, the next scene is Porsha and Shamea's. I'm going to save that for Sassy. So I'll just go around. I'll end with Sassy because she's going to bring it home. T-Talk with your girl. What did you think about the scenes that I mentioned so far? Kelly and Chloe driving, maybe a little bit more on Miss LaMargaret and Angela, whatever you wanted to talk about in those scenes.
Kelly and Chloe driving was cute. It was cute. I like her daughter. She has good on-screen personality. I'm like Kelly. Me teaching somebody how to drive? Ooh. No, get your dad or somebody.
Me too, Chad.
Because close to the damn car. You too close to the road. Just take me home. Let somebody else do it. Kelly is big and deep because I wouldn't even got that far in the car. So shout out to Kelly. As far as Angela, rest in peace to her mother. First of all, I can't imagine. But what I do think about the scene, even though she is gone on to heaven, I feel that the mama wanted that scene so she could let us know she bought her own goddamn house. Because as she said, all Angela done since she got on here. I take care of my mama this. I take care of my mama that. And even though that's your mama, the sister there too, and the sister in the mama ear, all she do is talk about us. She get on camera and she try to make herself look like she's this and that, the third. We need our own house. And she done pressured that mama to go buy them another house that she didn't even need to spend her money, but her mama wanted to make her baby feel good. So then she done went and bought another house after Angela bought her house because she just want to let us know that Angela not taking care of them. The sister done did that, I'm telling y'all.
Yeah, I could tell the influence.
And I just thought it was odd that she needed this house. Why you need a house if your daughter bought you one?
I know, right?
If your daughter bought you a house, why you need a house? Except for the fact they probably didn't want that girl there no more because she probably smart out the mouth, like you said, Sandra P. Is more to it.
Yeah.
The gal might be smart out of mouth to her own grandmama because she feel like my mama paid for all this, so y'all better fall in line. You never know. And she got a wife, and grandmama might not agree with that.
Yeah,
grandmama old,
auntie too. Yeah.
So that could be another thing that she's like, you're not about to come up in here with this mess because God, you know how the older people is. God ain't blessed this.
Yeah.
You're not gonna have the thunder and lightning coming down on me while I'm asleep. You know how they think.
They do.
So grandmama probably said it's time for me to go, and then she had to let the people know that. So I mean, I hope Angela and her sister could work it out, but I hope it's not just because we lost our mom, because then it's a band-aid. It's another, you got another Shamea and Porsha thing because somebody really didn't heal from it, and then it's just gonna keep coming up. It's gonna keep coming up. So they better fix it or they better move on. Sisters or not, I'm with Charles.
Yeah, gotta address it. You cut them off.
Fix it.
Yeah.
Let it go. One of the two.
Okay. Drop the T. What you think about either Chloe and Kelly or the scene with Miss LaMargaret and Angela?
The scene with the car. Look, let me tell you something. I felt Kelly with the car. When you trying to teach your kids how to drive, you be about to have a heart attack. I'm telling you, baby. Look, I felt Kelly. I felt her pain. And I was trying to teach my kid, my son, them how to drive. Baby, I couldn't do it. They were about to give me a heart attack. It got so bad. I said, you know what? I'll just pay easy method, the driving school, extra $6. I couldn't do it. So, they go too close and they think it's funny. They and stuff. So I felt the pain of trying to teach your kids how to drive. It's no joke.
Girl.
I thought, look, my nerves were so bad, and I know, I was trying to be a good sport. You just can't do it. When you're trying to teach your kids how to drive, it just ain't good. And then with a bigger car, you need a small car when you're trying to teach them how to drive. And also, it's not like when you're doing a driver's ed car, because they have a pedal over there. So if they getting ready to hit them or get too close, they can push the pedal. But when you are teaching them how to drive, you don't got that. So I felt the pain with that. I felt her pain with that. Also, I like how she slipped. She won a BMW. I think she said she won.
Yeah, she did.
I like how she slipped that in. No, you gonna get a little bitty car, small car, or what have you, and you can pay your own car note. Now, with my kids, I would give them a little decent sized car or whatever. And, then when you get, I always had a thing when you graduate, then I will put a down payment down and I will pay the car note until you can, do for, you're able to do for yourself, get a good job or whatever, to pay your car note. But, I liked that scene right there because it reminded me of when I was trying to teach my kids, how to drive. Then after that, I couldn't do it. My husband took over. But I liked that scene. Also trying to think. The thing with you know, when you are a mother and when somebody is coming for your kids, the scene with Angela and her mom when she was saying why she, you know, had her, you know, her and Charles had that argument about he saying she didn't clean. I think Charles is trying to be funny because he asked her, "Did you wash your hands?" Now we all seen on TV, and I know he ain't blind. We've seen Angela wash her hands, and then he go, you know, say that you wash her hands. So I don't like that. And again, I don't think they live together either because Charles is too OCD for me. And when you have kids and stuff in your house, everything is not going to be perfect. Everything is not going to be in place all the time. Some stuff is going to be out of place. Everything can't be like that. When you have kids in the house, and don't Angela and them got kids in the house? Don't they
Yeah, they
got
do.
that other baby, Charles Jr., and her kids?
Mm-hmm.
So things can't be like that. So I don't think Charles lived there. Maybe Charles got an apartment and he just come over there and cook. That's the only thing I can think of because the house where he at. Because I don't think Charles can live in no house with no kids. Because if one thing is out of place, it seems like he will blow a gasket. And I don't blame Angela's mother for popping off on him. You know, things are not going to be always in place. All the time. And that's okay. So my thing is, did Charles ever live in a house with kids, or is this his first time trying to settle down because he got old? Because like I said, it don't seem like he want to be with Angela. But once men get old, they got to find somebody that to settle down with. Allegedly settle down with, and in case they get sick or something. And and I think that's what Charles was doing. But I still think allegedly, and for entertainment purposes only, that he's still out here creeping around. And Angela, to me, just wants somebody she can call a husband. So
Yeah.
that's my thoughts. I just think that was, I don't think I don't think they live together. And I think that was, rude for him to say that she don't clean. And I don't blame her mother for sticking up for her daughter. I don't.
Sassy, what you think about the scene, either the scene with Miss LaMargaret and Angela, we had Kelly and Chloe, and then you go into your scene, which is the large scene with Shamea and Porsha that was referred to throughout the episode.
Well, I love Chloe and Kelly together. I thought it was funny. And Chloe does have Kelly whole face. That is her made over. I enjoyed the scene with the mother. I don't understand why she went and bought a whole new house. I think it's some underlying issues that's going to come out later on the show, and we'll probably see what's going on truly with the aunt. Because as we know, Angela liked to do skim milk. Okay, she liked to skim over stuff and give a little bit of fat just to make it look good. So I don't know about Angela, but with all that being said, we're going into the big scene with Porsha and Shamea meeting up at this restaurant. It looks very nice. They both show up. They both have on cream. And Shamea they sit down. Of course, Porsha asked the waitress for another chair because they wanted something to put their purses on. The table was small. Shamea goes into asking Porsha how she was, how was a weekend, and Porsha goes in to explain. She said, "I'm okay. It's been busy." Shamea cuts her off and say, "Yeah, your pamper party and all this, it was a busy weekend for you." And Porsha's like, "Yeah," and she's like, "Let's just cut down to it. What is it? What is going on?" And so Porsha mom called in the middle of all this, and she told her, she said, "Hey, I'll call you back." And then Shamea said, "Stop." And Porsha said, "Stop making that face at me." And Shamea said, "Who is that?" She said, "Mom." She said, "Your mom?" She said, "Oh, okay." So they order, and everything. They get to talking. Shamea explained why she wanted to meet with Porsha. She's saying that, you know, over the years there have been things that has happened, and she said that she felt like in this relationship she has never been heard, and she pretty much masked and dumbed herself down to let Porsha shine instead of addressing the grievances that they have. And she wanted Porsha to hear her as they talk, and Portia's just looking at her, okay? And she's telling her, you know, she said, Portia saying in the confessional, you know, you're going to tell people about stuff, and then how you expect me to feel, and all that. And Shamea is in her confessional. I did not like Shamea's confessional look. I think it looked like she was about to blow a gasket. She looked like she was, ooh. I did not like that. Okay, I didn't like the look. But anyway, they get to talking. She said, yeah, you had a busy weekend. It was the pampered party. And she was like, yeah, it was for women to come together. But evidently that's not it. Porsha says, you know, Shamea says, I feel like you're just not hearing me. Like I said before. And she said, I expressed this. She said, I mask a lot of things. And I feel like, you know, you just don't hear me. And Porsha is like, she said, oh, am I boring you? She said, no. She said, Shamea, please, I can't do this right now. Can you just stop? Shamea is going on about, you know, they're pretty much their whole relationship. I feel like this Shamea is trying to get across to Porsha that she don't want to not be heard anymore. This is what I got. Shamea's getting popped off. She's popping off. She's being snappy. She's cutting Porsha off. She was being rude. She really was. And Porsha got over, said, you know, got up, did her little exit, did her little cry, came back, sat down, asked for a box to go, because Shamea didn't have much to say. Now, I do believe there was some choppiness in this scene, because when she asked, you got to look at the scene, because they didn't have any food, and all of a sudden, boom, when she came back, there was food they were eating. So I feel like there was some choppiness that we didn't get to see. Porsha came back and said, look, what do I need to do? And Shamea said, I just need you to acknowledge my feelings. Acknowledge me when I am addressing you or talking to you. Acknowledge me. And she said, done. What is there anything else? And she said, that's just it. I just want to salvage or try to salvage this relationship. And Portia's like, salvage? I mean, you trying to, is it unsalvageable? And she was like, well, I'm trying to. And then Porsha starts playing with the forks, which was rude. And then, you know, Portia's like, Shamea, I'm overwhelmed. You bringing this to me. I don't want us to break our friendship up. I'm willing to do the work. And can we do the work? And so they get up, they do a hug. I know I missed some stuff, but it's pretty much redundant. She said, can we do a heart-to-heart hug? And they did a heart-to-heart hug. And Porsha says she's going to do better. She wants this to work. And they get ready, they leave out. So with that being said, I know Drop the T was on my channel, and I don't know if y'all heard about, but I had a friend recently, I thought was a friend that, you know, I found the reason why I can relate to Shamea, because when this person needed me, I was always there. When they needed me for photography, when they needed me for this, even in high school, 30 years of friendship, 30. And then I get a text while I'm on the cruise, but I didn't see the text until yesterday, day before yesterday. And I'm like, oh, I didn't see this text from my friend. And by the time I read the text, Ping came on Facebook, and I saw her and my dad, my children's father, all hugged up and kissed up. And I was like, what is happening? So I called her, because she called me first, and I called her back. And she said first she wanted to talk business about the photography. I said, well, yeah, just let me know a date. And she said it's another one in August. I said, I'm not sure if I'll be able to do that one because I got something planned. And so she said, and I also want to talk about something else. I said, yeah, I saw you and Jeff up on, my ex up on the Facebook all hugged up. She said, yeah, it's not like what you think. It's like we used to kind of date back in the day. I said, I didn't know that. I said, had I known that you messed with him back in the day, I probably wouldn't have my children by him right now. I said, that's my loyalty. And she said, well, it was just like a little thing. It wasn't nothing serious. And she said, I got married. He got, he went away. He got married and all this and that. And I said, but didn't he date your first cousin at that time? She said, yeah, but they were on a break. I said, but that's your first cousin. And so anyway, she said, I just wanted to run this by you. It ain't like, she said, we've been friends a long time. I was quiet the whole time. She said that, it just how things came back around, and I want to revisit it. And I just want you to know, I didn't want to, it's not to hurt you. I said, I'm not hurt. I don't care about damn about him. It's you that made the choice. And so basically they're dating, and I really don't care about how that happened, but it just allows me to look back over things and say, was she really truly my friend? I don't think 30 years. That's why I say 30 years a person could be in your life. That don't mean that they're your friend. They could have been a hindrance. They could have been stopping your growth. They could have been trying to make you look a certain way, and they could have been lying on you, and you never know. Okay, so let's just say this. My son texted me today. He was livid. Okay, and I told him, I said, don't get mad. We know who he is. We know how he is. She gonna find out. I'm not worried because he ain't changed in 50 years. He ain't gonna change. This is who he is. He's a user, abuser, a liar, a cheater, and this is how he's gonna always be. He's been moving, and she ain't gonna change. And I don't care. But my son felt like that was low down dirty, and a lot of people did. So I get where Shamea is coming from. And had I spoke up and not being that friend that just kind of pulled back and just let that person shine, but I started letting myself shine. I started having different friends, my sister. I started doing my YouTube channel. I started shining a little bit more. And sometimes the devil try to come in and throw you off. Bother me, yes, because in a million years I would have never dated somebody she dated. Never, ever. Just because of the loyalty and how I have. You say, no, I used to date him. Oh, I'm done. No, bro. I don't care how the attraction is, because guess what? It starts off as lust, not love. And I can get rid of my lust. I can lust for something else. So that's my story. And that's why I say people can be your friend for 30 years or more. That don't mean that they're your friends. They don't mean they want you to do good. They don't want you to succeed. They just want to hold you back and laugh at you behind your back. But see, God is the God of vengeance. And he did say, God, he showed me this, y'all. I had a dream right before this happened that it was my husband and a friend of mine. I kept saying, why? And I would wake up out that and I'll go right back to the same dream. And in my dream, I felt the awfulest pain in my heart and in my soul. And then when I got that call, the Lord showed me who it was. And I wasn't mourning him.
Mm-hmm.
I was mourning the loss of a friendship, because it's never going to be the same.
Yeah,
It's never.
I can relate. I definitely can relate. I went through that same thing with my
That
first
is-
cousin.
That's so bad.
Yeah, my first cousin did that to me. So I know all about that one.
And it's fractured. And even if we did spend time, it's still that fracture line.
No,
And
I
I
don't
can
want
never.
to.
Because
I
if
don't
you
want to go back.
did
I
that to
can't
your
trust him.
cousin, you was definitely do it to me.
Yeah.
And I'm done with
Can't
that.
trust him.
Yeah.
You
I
can't
wonder
trust
how
him
And
long.
I'm a
after that.
Leo.
Yeah.
If I can't trust you, I'm done.
How
I'm
long
done.
was she coveting him? You know, that's the thing. And she got the same man. Sometimes the women will think, well, he's gonna be different with me because I'm this, and this.
No, he
No,
ain't.
you might be, but he's still the same person. And that mask is gonna slip eventually.
Oh, yeah.
And she gonna need
And my
that
son
shoulder.
said the same
You
thing.
give it to her.
You know, both of my sons do not care for that. My sons and my daughter. My daughter, she does. She's her daddy's girl, but they don't care for him. He moves snakish. And my son say, I hate it because he's fake as hell. He goes around trying to pretend like he this holier than thou person. And then now he does this to you. And she does this. Oh, he was pissed. He was livid. I said, you don't have to fight this battle. The battle is already won. That person that chose this person got to go through that storm. And baby, she gonna go through it way worse than I have.
Yeah.
Because vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. So I'm not worried about it, because she gonna see when the lust wear off, she gonna see that snake for who he is. And they deserve each other. So let it be and let it go.
Yeah, she's gonna be embarrassed to talk about it. And then she's not gonna have
she ain't gonna talk about it.
Yeah, she's not gonna have the support from you that she would have had. So
she sure
all
not.
downside. Yeah. It's a downside.
Not my support. Don't come to me telling me about it. I don't want to know. Don't call me. I'm not gonna answer the phone. I'm not. And I was petty. I even liked the video. I even liked the picture.
So yeah, I see y'all out there on vacation. Yeah. That's how the Shamea Porsha scene feels like. We're watching what they want to show us, but not really what the underlying issues are. And it's very uncomfortable. The confessional looks sassy, other than I think it was too tight at the top. It was a snake skin, but I liked how elaborate it was and all of that. She looked really pretty.
It was elaborate. It just looked like she was ready to bust.
Yeah, it was too small in the breast area. It was.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a very awkward scene. I think Porsha was nervous, moving things around and stuff, but I also think she was dismissive. I can see why Shamea felt that way with the sighing.
Yeah, she was dismissive.
Yeah, and you're okay, giving herself affirmations. And then coming back to the table to box her food. Once I'm up and I'm dressed and I drove there, we came separately. I don't like to reheat my food unless it's leftovers. I would have sat there and finished eating. I said, okay, I'm not going to keep
I'm going to eat my food, honey.
Yeah, I would have ate my food there and just take my to-go later. But I don't think they resolved everything, even though they hugged heart to heart. And make it titty to titty. So sometimes she always got to throw in a joke or and maybe that's her defense mechanism, because I think she is hurt too. But
she is hurt.
Yeah,
I think she's truly hurt.
Yeah,
I do think Porsha is truly hurt.
Yeah,
she just do things differently. She laughs at, she dances it off. You know, she
definitely should be hurt.
Yeah, she's hurt.
Yeah, she should be hurt. Her friend came on her show. Her friend came on the show with her supposed to be friend. Went to all the other ladies, talked about her, and then try to gaslight her when it comes back up and act like it's her that's doing something wrong. I would be her too. I would be.
Yep.
Sassy Queen Cat talking to you. You see that comment?
For you up here, I have to go through this. That is horrible, and why it's you know, I just tell people, hey, you think you got something? She ain't got nothing. That joker.
So cool, yeah. You really think that Porsha broke up a relationship with somebody who was pregnant by a pool guy?
Nah, that relationship was separate.
Y'all gotta stop that. Really, y'all gotta
Mm-mm.
stop. What relationship was
Of course, she
separate?
didn't break that up. That man was
Right.
out. That girl was already out the door. She
I
been
hate
messing
that
around
people
with that
keep
boy.
doing that, acting like why y'all don't talk about Fallon getting pregnant by the pool guy? Like that
And
caused the
now
divorce.
married him and got another baby. Just had.
But Fallon
Right.
not on the
Like
show, and
stop.
Fallon is Simon's problem. That didn't have nothing to do with how Portia moved.
It
Mm-mm.
does. How did Portia move? No different than any
With
other woman
somebody
that
else's
talks to.
husband. With
No, it's
somebody
not his
else's
husband
husband.
once they gone. That's the business side of it. Let's stop that. When they
No,
separated and they gone their
marriage
way
is
and she
they still
pregnant,
married.
well, she defiled the marriage when she got pregnant. She ended the marriage.
That's between her and Simon. Portia's not a
Well,
part
that
in
doesn't
their
matter.
marriage.
Well, I don't believe in that. Sorry.
And
You
Portia
can't
got the
be
same
pregnant.
men.
You
Portia
can't
got
be
the same
pregnant.
men
You
that
can't be
didn't end up well
pregnant.
for her,
Have
sitting
another
over there in
man.
ICE.
You
And people
cannot
been
be
crying
pregnant, have
over
another
supporting
man, and
her.
then have rights to that man too. Come on now.
And
She
that's why it
can't have
didn't
her
work
cake
out
and
for
eat
her.
it
It didn't
too.
work out for Portia.
No, it
She
didn't work
she
out for her
coveted
because
what
she
her
didn't want it
friend had.
because she realized there wasn't no money there, and that wasn't her friend.
Mm-mm. They were work associates.
Right.
I don't want my work associate's husband.
I don't either, but
Mm-mm.
that don't mean the next woman do.
True. And that's why I say about expectations. We put expectations on people that we wouldn't do.
Mm-hmm.
But baby, others would do that.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I had to
That's what I'm
learn
saying.
that.
What I won't do, the next
Yeah,
one will.
that is
Hmm.
so true. And lesson learned for me.
Yeah.
Most definitely. So it
Ms.
is
Z
what
said,
it
but what
is.
about Portia, Shade, and Samia singing at the bank dinner? I feel like we didn't bring
Yeah.
that up enough. What do we think was the reason for that? Ms. Z, the reason why we can't bring that up enough is because we're talking about some dumbass 10-year-old wedding. That's why. Because Shamia wanted sympathy. So she had to go all the way back and say, remember this, remember that, remember this, remember that, like all the Portia haters do. Go back 10 years, 15 years. The show is this season right now. That's why we ain't talking about that. And Portia was wrong as fuck for that. And that's what we really should be talking about. But everybody want to talk about a 10-year-old
Mm-hmm.
wedding because that seemed like it's more salacious.
Was she there?
They,
Is she
but
there
here we got
while she's
something.
going through it with Shiloh? Is
Here
she
we got
there? That's
something
what I
in this
want to know. That's
season.
what's been
I
nice.
don't
Here
think
we got.
so. I heard she wasn't at her baby shower. I know when Portia came over to the house, the kids were, but those kids are sweet. They run and hug everybody. They seemed real glad to see Auntie Portia and
Mm-hmm.
all this. But we don't know. I feel like there's been a breakdown in the friendship for a while for Portia to even try to shade her song. And that's true. I thought it was silly. Even when Shamia was like, well, no, that's me. And
Yeah.
she just kept pressing it. That's true. And trying to act innocent about it. But at the same time, to me, being a mean girl about it. She knew that wasn't true. And she tried to
Yeah.
cheapen what Shamia had done with the song. So yeah, I
I
think that
agree.
should be talked about more,
Yeah.
Miss Z. I
And what
agree.
I think that was, and if I'm being honest, we gotta just remember Portia is very seasoned, and I think she was trying to give Shamia some smoke with her, not
Mm-hmm.
knowing that Shamia had already went behind her back and started that shit with the other ladies. That's what I really believe she was trying to do. Because Portia know and understand they need to spar with her if they're gonna be talked about. So what other way to get my friend some screen time than for me and her to go back and forth about me shading her song? So here I
Yeah.
give you a lifeline, not knowing that you was around the corner with a knife to put in my back.
I don't think Portia can blame Shamia for her season not working out. And it
I
may
didn't
turn
say
around. We're
anything
only
about her
halfway
season
through.
not working. I didn't
No,
say
I'm
anything
saying
about
it.
the
I'm
season not
saying it
working
because I
out.
don't think Portia's
Right.
season is working out, but we're only halfway through. So I'll wait
I
for the
mean,
turnaround.
if okay, so if that's the case, then we have to say that none of male seasons worked out either, right?
None of
Because
who?
everybody on the show is talking about Portia. That means her season's working out.
They're
They
talking
have
about Drew
nothing else
too.
to talk about.
They're
They
speaking about
what
Drew
are they saying?
also. They're
Drew and
talking
Portia.
about Drew.
Okay.
They're
Okay,
talking
they
about
talk
Drew
about
too.
Drew and Portia. Why they talking about Drew?
Drew's divorce, Drew's music. They're talking about Drew.
They're
Drew
not
working
really
with
talking about
Dennis.
Drew's divorce. We
They
talk
talking
about
about
Drew's
Drew working
divorce.
with Dennis.
But okay, so again, who's that? Oh, Portia. Okay.
Portia brought it up because she was jealous, but
Everybody
claims she don't
is
care. She claims
talking
she didn't care.
about Portia though. We're
And
not
then
gonna
Portia's
pretend
talking
that it's
about
not.
Angela. Portia's talking about Angela.
Exactly, ham sandwich. Thank you very much. Portia season
Ham
is
sandwich.
fine because she is the topic of everybody's conversation. People can say what they want to say. Portia didn't show her house. Portia, that's what they rate, and Portia didn't bring the season because she couldn't show her house. She couldn't do this. She couldn't do that. Don't matter. She did what she's supposed to do. She got every last one of them women got her name in their fucking mouth. Ain't none one of them that went on the interview yet and didn't speak on her name. But she ain't spoke on none of their asses.
Mm.
So I think she doing just fine. Portia hasn't blamed Shamea for not one thing. You got that right. It's been all Shamea running from every radio station that would have her. Oh, it's Portia, Portia, Portia. I'm doing my part. It's, I can't make the other person do it. It's just me. I can only do my part. After you done went out here and started all the stuff up.
I think
Ah,
Shamea needs to back.
I do
you
too.
said what happened?
I
Yeah.
think their friendship's
She
already
need to
done.
back.
I hope it is. I think that they've outgrown each other, certainly. I think there's a negativity underlying that I wouldn't have a friend like that. I don't think the friendship's there anymore.
Yeah,
And
I
the
think they
longevity
both.
doesn't matter. I know
I think
Shamea said earlier in the scene with Cynthia, they don't understand a friend like ours being a long-term friends. And Cynthia's like, oh, I'd
don't
love to
mean
have a
that
friendship
don't mean
like
nothing.
Shamea. Yeah, the time frame, like you just said, Sancy, 30 years may not, you don't know what the purpose is over the 30 years. You coveting or you just, I don't know. I just feel like hopefully this friendship is over.
Yeah, speaking of
It brings
covenant, that's what
too much
Angela said that Shamea was doing,
negativity.
and I have to agree with Angela when she was in that after show. That Shamea been coveting over the show in the first place.
But
So nothing
Angela, the
wrong with me
same
coming
one
in
that
there.
won't have Portia over her house around her
Oh, I
husband.
don't care about her
Yeah,
having not
nervous
Portia having it.
about
I
it.
wouldn't have Portia around my husband either, and you probably wouldn't either. And that's
You
fine.
know,
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have her around my husband either, but
my
that don't
husband say
negate
she
the
got too
fact
much butt for her.
that don't negate the
Yeah.
fact that I still
Everybody don't like
believe
them
that
BBLs.
Angela was right. I still believe that Angela was right, and Shamea is covenant over this show. And she thought she was gonna come in with her house and win all the fans over, but some of us see through bullshit. I think that's what she thought. I'm a rich bitch, and everybody's gonna love me because I got all these things attached to me.
She
Some of
got
us
more to
don't
offer
get,
than that. They're just not showing it. She's got more to
and
offer
they're
than
Yeah,
that.
not
something
She's
gonna
going
labeled
show
on.
it.
down. She's
But
labeled
they're not
down, and
gonna
nobody
show it.
likes her fashions. Everyone makes fun of her fashion. She did need a stylist. She said she spent a lot of money on her fashion, and it didn't work out for her as far as that. So it's not
Yeah,
just
but
about her money. It's not just about her house. D. Herford, I agree with you on that. We
but
didn't
they're
agree
not
on
gonna
much, but I
show
agree on
all
that.
that
I wish they
stuff.
move
That's
on.
not what this show is built on. It's not built on she's a Atlanta Hawk over there by herself. It's not built on all the stuff she got going on by herself. This is an
No, not just by herself.
ensemble
They always
cast.
showed old school housewife. They always show charity events. They have parties. They have the trips. They have a bunch of different things go on.
Mhm.
It's not just
Yeah.
the
And everything
dissolution of
has to be with
friendships.
the ensemble. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Most of the stuff she got going on, she is by herself.
but the friends show up to support. That's how it's always been. Somebody has a business, even with Portia's pamper party, which I thought was done well until the end. All the cast, the ensemble shows up to support. They get into some mess at the end, but they show up to the event. That's part of them using the platform that way.
Mm-hmm.
So we haven't seen anything that they're allowing Shamea to show that the friends can show up and support.
Other than the birthday party.
Yeah, other than that, and that was episode 1. So that's now we 11 in. We got to see some more.
I mean, they did show up at Portia's pampered party, and Kelly had her thing.
Yeah, that was a good. Kelly had a charity
Yeah.
event. She had.
Yeah.
They had something else where they had to get together. The luncheon. Kenya's thing went totally off the rails because of her
Ooh,
action.
child.
Kelly has had more
after
events than
Brit
Shamea,
provoked
but
her.
Yeah,
Kelly has way more events than
As a
Shamea.
new Pete, Kelly definitely has. Yeah, quite a few.
BKNY says Gerald does not want to film, so Shamea is using Portia as her storyline.
She can fight with all of them if that's the case.
Yeah, and he's smart about that. If I were Gerald, I wouldn't want to be on there.
I don't blame him. Shit, I wouldn't be online either.
D said, look at the ladies on Beverly Hills. They all got nice houses and nobody cares.
Yeah, I never bring up the house. It's brought up every week, and I don't bring up. I'm not the one bringing up the house. I don't care about Shamea's house. That's episode 1.
Yeah, it's usually in the chat. Yeah. I know you ain't forgetting about episode 1. We'd be going back 10 years with you, girl.
Yeah, no, I'm
Saying your business going way
There's a
back.
pattern of behavior. I don't see nothing wrong with bringing up a pattern of behavior. But then it's funny.
Yeah, patterns
sometimes
don't
you can bring
change,
it up,
honey.
sometimes not. For certain
But
people, it just,
you know why?
it's all over the
you know-
place. You know,
You
it's
know
all
why
over
I
the
say
place.
that? It's because the show is not designed for us to do that. Like if we're gonna be content creators, we supposed to be talking about the show now because this is what the people saw. Some of these people ain't even been watching way back there, so it doesn't make sense to them. That's why I say we supposed to be talking about the show, not all that old back stuff. I don't care about that stuff. I don't really care about these people outside of the entertainment. I don't care about what they did to each other. I don't know these fucking people. And none of us, I mean, we might meet them because y'all know we going, we might meet their asses. But what I'm saying is, I don't care about them enough to be keeping track of their licks back. We talk, what the hell they doing now? How did we get here now? We can't just say, because Portia did X, Y, and Z back then, this is Portia's fault. This Portia's fault because she got a pattern. No, you got to tell the person who did it, this your fault.
The
We
scenes
can't
don't
do-
make sense without the backdrop.
But
That's what I'm
To
saying. It
them,
don't- how can that make any
for
sense?
Shamea and Porsha, it's
Yeah.
you gotta look at
You
their
got
past.
to. How can it don't make sense?
It absolutely don't
Because
make sense because we shouldn't be talking about no 10-year-old
But that's why
wedding.
they're here. That's why they're here.
Yeah, because of Shamea, because she had nothing else. She had
She
nothing
had
else.
something
Her
else. They
husband, no,
chose
she
not to
doesn't,
show it.
Sandra P.
Yes,
No,
she
she
does.
doesn't.
They chose.
Her
this is why they
husband,
choose not
this
to
what
show
you
it.
got to
She had nothing
understand.
else.
Her husband does not want to film. So she needs to make herself available to film for something else. And what else is she going to do but fight with Portia? That's what's going to get her the screen time. Anything
But
else she would have
fighting with
done,
Angela, and that
unfortunately.
was interesting.
Well, Angela, that's good. And what was they fighting about? Oh, she
Noses.
said something about her nose. How long was that going to last? You think they was
I
going to
mean,
go through
they
the whole
could have
season?
fought forever.
If she just wanted
Yeah,
to be
but
in
they wasn't
Portia's
gonna do
presence,
that.
she
Come
could have
on.
been in Portia's presence to support Portia as a friend during her divorce. Portia's going through other things as well. She going through this divorce. She could have been in her presence just support for that. They weren't friends before that.
Who
I
weren't
see
friends?
what Miss Z is saying, that Shamea
Uh-huh.
and Portia were not as close friends before
They ain't been
any of this
close for a
started
minute.
happening. It couldn't have been.
I don't think they was friends at all. D
I'm
said
not gonna
maybe
go that
Shamea's
far.
stuff
I
isn't
didn't mention
screen
it.
worthy.
I didn't mention it, but
I agree with
like
that, D.
they showed a flashback. I'm not going to shoot Shamea all the way down just because people don't like her. That nothing that she does is screen worthy. Just because Bravo didn't show it doesn't mean it's not. But I did like the picture. They showed a picture of Miss Diane looking like Pebbles. Miss Diane was fine. She still is. But her, and then they showed the throwback picture of her with Shamea's mother. And she looked like a skinny Shirley Murdoch. She was cute too. So they were running the streets back in the day too. Production put that on there for a reason to show, here's a history. Here's these two women. Now here's their two daughters. And then that ran through the episode.
Yeah,
Kind of underlying.
definitely-
Even when Miss Diane calls Portia before they sit down. It's like, what you doing? I'm call you later. That she's on the phone with her. And then Shamea starts bringing that up. Your mom said this. Your mom said that. And then production show scenes of bring the bone and this kind of stuff.
So it's gotta, with them, it's gonna have to be some of the past brought up because this is what it's gonna be.
And I know Shamea mother don't like
that.
it. I know Shamea mother don't like it, but goddamn if Portia mother wasn't right, whether she like it or not, that girl was sitting around talking about her daughter with them girls like she thought she was.
They had a mini scene we didn't even they had two flash mini scenes. We saw Britt for a second getting ready for a wedding with Michael, which I didn't care about at all. They going to Napa. And then they showed Shamea in a mini scene with her sisters. And they bring up the friendship again. We've been trying to tell you that this been going off the rails. So the sisters brought it up too, that they try to point it out to Shamea, and Shamea didn't want to face it or whatever it is. She's just
and I feel like that was staged. That was produced.
The mother beef, Portia added to it on Instagram.
Yeah, I feel like that was produced.
Yeah, she let the story. I guess the story expired. I don't know.
Because
Maybe
I
it's a
bet you, no, she
filler
took it down.
scenes. You
That
know,
was a
sometimes they have
post-production.
filler scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like this last week was a bunch of filler scenes, other
But there
than the
is
big
mother beef.
scene.
There's mother beef. Porsha's saying that whatever her mother's supposed to did to her was egregious. Now I'm hearing that she bought a business that a person mismanaged and lost.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how that's egregious, but everybody's different.
I mean, yeah, everybody is different, because I wouldn't want no friend of mine to do no shit like that to me. So
What is a business? Okay, so you run your business in the ground and then it's for sale and you're being sued.
I'm not gonna say we're not gonna just say she ran it in the ground. See, that's what people go through tough times. We don't know exactly what happened after those people got sued for $5 million for the accidental death.
So
I don't
why
know what
is the
happened.
business off limits for Shamea
mismanagement of money?
And negligence. If she's in negligence, if she's in the daycare business and she is in the market for a daycare going at a discount, that business is off limits because her friend used to own it. Why couldn't they go in? I wouldn't go into business with her.
I would think with all the buildings, I would think with all the buildings in town, if you got money, go buy another building. Why would you want to ruin something?
Well, maybe I read on Facebook that it was an agreed upon between the two.
Probably, and then maybe
from the stuff that I got.
That's usually how stuff happens.
But this is just people speculating and assuming. We don't know.
No. This is in a court document because it was all up. I got the I screenshotted all of them.
Oh, if it's not this
in a court document.
Yes,
it was in a court document.
Yeah,
that they agreed on it.
That because they was getting garnished. It was a bunch of garnishments, and because of the garnishments, it was hard for them to get financing. So the way it made it seem as if Shamea mama bought it in order to help a friend. She bought it. She still worked there. And then they fell out for something else. I don't know what they fell out for, but Miss Diane still worked there. So I don't know if it was money's misplaced. What? That's why I say there's something else. Porsha and Shamea. Porsha don't want Shamea to say, and Shamea don't want to say it. I don't know, but it's something. It's something, and it's got to do with these mothers.
I believe that too. I think that too, Sassy. I always thought that. I don't know the details, but it's glaringly obvious to me.
Yeah.
Yes, Ms. Z.
Shamea mama is not really saying anything. Shamea mama is more laid back, more, but Miss Diane, she's not going to look bad at all.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'll send y'all the stuff. I'll send it to you. It's a lot. When I say a lot, it's a lot.
She be halfway not even on the show.
But when she comes on
I
the show,
can't get a read of this lady like that.
I can.
I've never got a read on. She ain't been on the show that long. Not to me. She don't be.
What I've seen, she seems to be laid back. But
well, let me not even bring it up. But Miss Diane is a madam, and she living through Porsha.
Wow.
Portia's aging out. Yeah, that's this. I'm giving my opinion.
Okay. Yeah, but you're not even saying alleged though. You guys say allegedly. We can get. Allegedly. We can get in trouble for that.
No, all views on the channel are alleged for independent.
Yeah, but please, you said that lady a whole madam. Oh my gosh. Then how did you get that out? So since we alleged that this lady, how
let
did we
me
get
not even
there?
bring it up. So we missed.
How did we get there? Because I never knew. Is it court documents about that too? I'm just asking though, for real. Is it court documents? This lady was a madam.
Yeah.
Is it?
About what?
Yes, is it court documents about Miss Diane being a madam?
I don't know about no madam, but some women do live out through their children now.
Miss Diane lived
I can believe that.
We saw
her. I don't know what episode it was. I'm not gonna have timestamps like that, but we saw her sitting there when her, Lauren, and Porsha are sitting there. You and Simon couldn't even go to bed angry. I thought it's together for all this, trying to paint this picture that this scammer is somebody that was this upstanding gentleman, and the whole family knew the man was a scammer. Everybody knew that about Simon. And I think Miss Diane knew it too. They just didn't think it would catch up with Cool Cat.
Because
Said
if my daughter
he's
married that
corrupt. I
old
agree with
ass
it,
man,
too.
I'd be like, wait a minute.
Yeah,
Yeah, how much
Now,
money you
Cool
got?
Cat
That
said-
mean got worms.
They don't think
Cool
Dennis
Cat
is like
said-
good enough. She'll take him now because she aging out, but there's no reason for her to marry Simon over Dennis. They have a daughter together, they have the chemistry together, but Dennis sells hot dogs or whatever. Dennis is a man with a lucrative business, and I think that family, the way they treated him and his mother, has been disgraceful. No, it didn't happen this season, and Dennis has forgiven it, but I just think Miss Diane and Porsha, they don't move correctly.
So Diane is corrupt.
Cool Cat said Diane. Yeah. Go ahead.
Look up Diane getting arrested for stealing thousands from the Jose Foundation. Yeah, she did. She does allegedly not go where near the family. She was a side chick. Ooh, child, it's all in them streets, child.
It might be in them streets, but that don't make her a madam.
Don't bring it up.
They ain't saying a madam, but baby,
that's a little stretch.
I ain't saying a madam, but I'm just saying she living vicariously through her child.
I got daughters and stuff. I don't know. I just think that's a
chase
stretch.
the money. That's what the streets
she
said.
read Porsha to chase the money, regardless of whatever.
Yeah.
That's what the street said, not me. And I can believe Porsha is chasing money. I see her doing that.
I agree.
Diane didn't come between Porsha and Dennis. Dennis did that, and his mother was very disrespectful to Porsha. Very. I think that sometimes people think that because somebody's mother that they supposed to get more than what they deserve. That lady was disrespectful too, and I probably would disrespect for her ass too.
I didn't see her disrespecting her.
I did. What does Diane's past have to do with?
Did the mother try to fight Porsha? I remember Porsha trying to fight her. Since we're talking about a past, it wasn't even a past season. It was Porsha Family Matter. Did the mother try to fight Porsha? I remember Porsha swinging on her, and that's when Dennis got upset.
I think there was a reason for. I don't think Porsha just came out and went to swing on that lady.
I ain't gonna hit nobody's mama. I'm sorry.
No, D. Hereford said go back to season 16. Okay, that's about it for season 16. Miss Diane brought up Shamea and Porsha's friendship as well.
I remember.
She
He's still
love
around,
Dennis.
baby girl.
She still love Dennis.
Yeah, they're still around.
I think too many family members was in their business.
Me too.
They still love each other.
Do Polara go by the mother house? By Dennis' mother house?
Yeah.
I think they all hang out now.
I think they're all close.
Yeah. They're closer now. That's all forgiven. I think a lot of it was for TV. But Dennis just got fed up.
Yeah.
Exactly, Tina, and I don't blame her because so many times we condition that we need to be helping these people make this and make that.
I ain't want
to build no Bob to build the shit. Goddamn it.
Dennis is
better have some money.
Dennis isn't broke.
Dennis got money.
He just don't present as one of them Africans.
He just didn't do what Miss Diane wanted him to do.
Yeah, he wasn't in no private jet like Simon.
Are we really gonna pretend like Miss Diane is the reason why they broke up when Dennis was out here putting this hot dog in anybody's bun?
I know he was putting the hot dogs in there, child. He was
acting like
he was saying, I'm just playing with your child. I just wanted to get you aroused.
This season she brought it up. She said, I can't defend Dennis no more. She was cool with whatever Dennis was doing right up until Dennis had the scene with Drew. That's when Miss Diane got upset. Well, that's what she said on the screen. So
it was laying sausages.
I don't watch it. I didn't get through the first episode.
Which one?
Porsha. Miss Z likes watching them on YouTube. She got a lot of subscribers.
Oh yeah, they have a great chemistry.
Yeah, because Ralph brought that up too. He said that Dennis was cheating on Porsha while she was pregnant.
While she was pregnant.
Ralph brought that up. Ralph brought that up.
Yeah, that's dangerous to your life.
Did.
Yeah, Ralph made sure he brought that up.
You know he gonna make sure of that.
Yeah.
So y'all know that's dangerous, but yes, Andrew, you said Miss Diane pushed her to marry Simon instead of Dennis. And you knew Dennis was cheating.
No, I didn't say. I said I seemed like she preferred Simon over Dennis because of what they thought.
Well, I would too.
Money. They thought no, not no old man with how many kids he had.
You somebody else.
They don't even know how many wives this man had in Nigeria. And that is not cute. Them wives, you're supposed to get permission from them wives, jumping up, marry these men. We don't even know that he stopped calling him Simon, whatever. He, ugh.
Oh, no.
Mm-mm. Cool Cat said he didn't want Porsha. I don't know. I think Dennis does want Porsha. I still
Yes,
see
he does. I see love in his eyes.
Christian, I don't think she got the money. I don't think Porsha ended up with the money. Porsha was making her own money. I don't know why she was trying to let Simon scam like that. Porsha was making her own money until she quit all her jobs. Porsha is a brand, and she has brands. Yeah. So I don't like seeing her flying over here with this. He
was trying to make her a common wife so he could do whatever he wanted to do, so she wouldn't find out about it.
And
then she lost all her money
after the fact.
Yeah. I think he was going to try to drain her dry.
Yeah, I think he didn't want her Porsha to work right.
I don't know.
Stay at home with all them children.
Or him, I don't know.
Yeah, how many kids?
He came up with that. He
came up with it. Oh, I didn't.
Because Fallon said he did her the same way.
Oh, and then the way he moved Fallon out, I wouldn't have trusted a man to quit all my jobs like that.
Right.
There go Porsha. No, man. And none of us up here would quit no job like that.
No, not.
And to be at home with his children. Gee.
I went through that.
Where's the mother of those other kids?
In Africa somewhere.
Somewhere around.
Yeah. Africa. Did Fallon have any children with Simon? I know she got
no, indeed.
She was the babysitter.
He moved her out. Oh, she's been. Ugh.
So he brought his kids.
Yeah, he said Simon said he keep a U-Haul ready.
No, that blind lady. That's not his real name. His real name is some funny shit.
Yeah.
I forgot. I forget how to pronounce it, but that ain't his real name. He made that shit up.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's not his real name. His real name is something else.
Yeah, he's a whole scammer.
Ooh, kicked out of the United States 3 times, returned back, and still doing the same damn thing.
And I wonder why they don't send him back to their home country. I said, just send him back.
He in ICE now.
They might send him over to the El Salvador jail.
You better hope. That's what I was about to say, Black. You better hope his ass don't get sold to the Salvadorians, because they selling him
right. Because they might take his ass over there.
The United States is trafficking their own fucking people. What a shame.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They're not sending them back where they're the home country. If the thing
is
send them to okay, send me back to where I came from. Don't send me to no third party. Do that. I don't even speak the language. And they're getting paid money on each head that goes there. Mahogany Meeks asked a good question. No, we don't know that about Gerald. Gerald laying low, Mahogany Meeks. I don't blame him. We don't know.
I heard something fishy last week about Gerald, but I ain't seen no real receipts, so I just ain't gonna repeat it.
I just found out he's in his 60s. I didn't know that man was that old. So you know, especially African, there's some wives and children somewhere.
So Shamea was looking for money too. You can tell that man old by his fucking chest. They both. I said the birds of the feather flock together. You think she went home and screwed that man the first night for no reason? She got real lucky. That man was older than her. She went over there and threw that ass in a circle. And the next thing you know, he was buying fucking wipes and shit. He said, "I want you to feel comfortable when you come over here and shit. Come on back. Come on back over here," that old man did. Yeah. I looked at his body today, and that's probably why shut up. Oh, wow. I looked at his body today, and that man got titties. He old. He had his shirt off. I said, put that fucking shirt back on, Gerald. Put it back on.
They over in France. Yeah, they're on vacation. Yeah, he's old.
Are we sure
you know he got titty fat?
Do Shamea husband got any?
What they say.
Are we sure he don't got no?
That's what they just said.
I don't know.
That's what they just said in the chat. CEO fucking man. I didn't know that some bitch was 60.
Yeah, he's 60.
He probably did have fucking up with wives and children.
60 plus.
I did not know Gerald was 60. Now, why you tell me that, Sandra? I can't unsee it.
I didn't.
How old is Shamea?
40 something. Her and Porsha are early 40. 43, 44.
Yeah.
They 40?
They
Oh yeah,
about the same.
43. That's
Yeah.
what she is, 43.
And I don't
Yeah.
like when there's a problem conceiving, they try to act like it's the woman or holding a baby. It could just be that old, what they call it, baby gravy now.
Yeah,
Well,
that
see
old
that?
sperm.
Now, see that, Sandra P?
Yeah, I can't
Now
even.
you see that, Sandra P? I didn't want to say the shit,
That's what
but now since you opened the door, let me step the fuck on in, y'all.
That's what Shannon and them calling it.
Listen,
Well,
it
it's
was
late
that
enough.
sperm.
Sandra P.
It was that sperm on the
P.
cane that hit it.
It's late
Since
night.
you invited me in the room, let me
Nope.
just come on in. Let me just
Say
come
it.
on in.
T-Talk, I know you want to say whatever.
Yeah, you told her to come on.
Hey, Sassy, I was trying to be nice. I said, never mind, I ain't gonna say it. Here come this one right behind me. You know it could be.
Yeah, I mean,
You got the glass on. Is that the egg? Okay,
and
I'm
you
coming.
see the new
Is it the
new
egg
surrogate
or
look
the
about 20
sperm?
years old. Yeah.
What
The new
you?
surrogate
Man,
is
you
young.
running up
Yeah.
into me. I'm trying to
Sassy.
find.
I don't think it's a
I got
surrogate.
one more with
Is
me.
it the
One
egg
more.
or the sperm?
Ooh,
Get out my way.
yeah, that's
Woo,
a
Lord. They say old men give you worms.
that's what they
Yes, they don't clean that thing.
Oh, child, she said they make slow babies.
Oh, Miss
Wait, you said Shamea ain't no 53?
No, she's not. Her
She
and Porsha
43.
and he's 63. She said, yeah, her and Shamea
Yeah,
went
they said
high
he
school
shooting
together.
straight piss.
They're 40-something.
Allegedly.
The man is
Ooh, yeah, not the straight pig. I cannot. You see what you done said to me?
no,
I
I
was
didn't.
trying to
Don't
keep
put
it
that on me. Don't
PG.
put that on me. We
I
talking
was
about
trying to
friendship.
keep it PG.
All these old men
Oh my
stuff
God.
came up. Ugh.
And they said that man shooting piss. He shooting piss. Oh, funky piss.
Oh, thank you.
Urinary tract infection piss.
He said the hot
You
one.
get a UTI. You get a UTI.
You get one and you get one.
I cannot. I am not fucking with y'all.
Ooh.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh, child.
Wait a minute. Now his shit probably got dementia. I am not with y'all. I am not. I'm not. Listen, I'm not going to hell with y'all. I'm
No,
not going to do it. That was not me. No, his shit probably got. Sandra, wait a minute, Sassy. Why she over there talking about me neither? Me neither. You opened the door.
Y'all, it's terrible.
Sassy, she opened the door talking about she ain't in here no more. Let me just look, Sassy. Let me just get out the room. 'Cause I don't want
Yeah, let me slide on.
Sassy, let me look, Sassy. Sassy, look. Let me get out of here. Let me just go. Let me go this way. Bring your ass back in here, Sassy. Bring your ass back in here.
What's that meme? I don't want to talk about it. You brought it up. No, thank you.
Oh my God, y'all done gave me a headache, child.
Sassy, you did this shit. Talk about I did it.
No, that's Tito.
Sandra, you just
Get off the internet. Get off the internet. Get off the internet. Get off.
Y'all silly.
Get off the internet. Get off the internet. Some of that man shooting piss. I am not fooling with y'all. I cannot.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Look, I want to say this to everybody, the people on the panel, of course, my beautiful, beautiful panelists, and the people in the chat on some real shit. Thank y'all for being able to have difficult conversations without being disrespectful to each other. I watched this
Yes.
chat all night long, and
Yeah,
y'all been
that's good.
disagreeing, and y'all know how to. I'm glad that me and Sandra P and the rest of us on this panel can be a great example of what it means to agree to disagree. Don't mean you gotta be disrespectful or rude. And I've been watching y'all, and y'all is just the chat been lit. Y'all been having a good
Yes.
time. Y'all comments are great. Y'all been engaging, and we really do love that. especially the part that y'all just can agree to disagree. So thank y'all for giving us your time, being a part of this experience with us, and just hanging out. I just had to say that. I'm not saying we getting off right now,
No,
but I
it's
just
true.
wanted to say that because it's a good feeling to watch y'all engage and never be disrespectful. Never be
it is. It's a great feeling to have people laugh with you, especially when you've been going through a rough week or a rough day, and you get on here and the laughter is what make you feel so good, you know. And then you look down, like you said in the chat, everybody laughing, cutting up, acting up, but disagreeing, but still laughing and having a good time. That's what it's all about.
It is.
That's what it's all about. We might not all like the same people, but y'all know we don't know these people, so it's just conversation. So really,
but
thank
it's
y'all
good
for
to
showing
have a
up.
good disagreement,
It is.
good debate.
It really is.
You know?
I think so too.
Yeah. Decent
and Sandra P, the calm one, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, this one up here, that one over. Well, where's she at? Over here.
Dr. T. Dr. T. Dr. T.
Don't run now.
I like that backdrop. I love that afro.
Oh my God. I love y'all so much.
Oh man.
Yeah, we have a good time over here.
Yes, we do. We do.
Yes. I love these ladies. They are a fun time. Yes, they are. And I just love them. So, y'all got anything else y'all want to talk about before we get out of here?
No, I'm going to have to head out because I got to work in the morning.
Oh.
Are y'all ready for Phaedra to come on Sunday?
I am.
Let's see what she's going to bring, but I don't think she's going to. I'm ready for it, but until they bring Nene back, this show doomed. I'm just.
They're not going to get much. She's going to start.
Not doomed. I think they need that extra pop. Phaedra going to give it, but.
I think Phaedra's going to bring a little something, but she, you know, they keep saying she ain't bring nothing to Mary Dimension, but she ain't know y'all. It's hard to come in.
People.
She was
right. That's a whole different ball game.
It's hard to come in on somebody else's show and you know what I mean, find your way. At least over there on the Housewives, she know her way over there. She know what to do. That's the house that she helped build.
Shade and
I think she'll be fun, D. She don't have anything terrible going on. I think Phaedra will be fun, and Porsha
she's gonna come with the Reeds now.
She's gonna come with the Reeds, and that's her buddy. So I think we get freaking frat. Looking forward to it. Cool Cat. I don't know, Cool Cat. All that dropping.
You think they will ask her to come back?
Well, let me just say this: my husband is 60, and if I wanted to be, he's very active at 60. I don't think the next 3 years that he would be like, I mean, unless something happened to him, like a heart attack or something like that, God forbid, I don't want nothing bad to happen to him. But unless something happened to him, I think at 63, he's still going to want to go.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's still going to want to go.
My brother is in his 60s, and honey, he had about 3 people a day. So I'm not even playing with y'all.
Yeah,
the vigorous.
And I believe it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, my brother, he's 60. What? Let me see. How old am I? My brother's 68, and him and his wife still get down, get funky, get loose. And I hope he ain't in here listening to me. But I am.
They take them honey packs and stuff too, but then some of them don't need it.
No, my brother don't take anything.
Yeah, some of them don't need it.
They say.
Now, I ain't gonna say they ain't shooting piss. I ain't gonna say that allegedly. I'm just saying they still can get up. They might be shooting piss or water, but them things still.
They might be shooting. They might be shooting something.
Well, see, the thing about us, we don't age. I don't know. We age differently than other other races. We don't look our age. That's another thing. We don't look like it.
I'm sorry,
we don't look like our. We don't look like our big mama and stuff like that. We don't look like that.
Sorry, Pat Dyer, for your loss.
Pat Dyer,
I'll send you
condolences to you.
Condolences to you, Pat Dyer. I'm 64. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
That's a hard one. I had to do that, and it took a lot out of me as well. My first nephew. Yeah, it's really hard. I've lost 2 nephews so far, but that first one was That was my baby. That was the first one, and like I watched that little kid wipe his little funky butt. First pamp I ever changed, all that good stuff. So my condolences to you. I know how
Yeah.
Yeah.
hard
We
that
try to
must
keep it
be.
light and funny and
Yeah.
silly with
Yeah,
everything.
Yep.
we
We
do.
do.
Yep.
We feel
So
it when
I'm
something happened
glad.
with one of y'all. We do.
Yeah, we do. We
Oh
definitely
man.
do.
Yeah, because you don't know what
So
anybody's going through.
It's true. Yeah,
yeah.
you don't know.
That's why I say share your smile every day
That's what.
because you
Yeah.
don't know what people going through day to day. You know, you walking
Yeah,
past people in the store, they could have just lost, their parents or you just don't
they
know
might be
what
spending their
people.
last dollar. They don't know where the
Yeah,
next day. And people
yeah.
just they think it's all about them, and it's not about
No,
them.
Yeah.
Right,
It's
that's
people
why
going through real stuff.
It's
right.
when
true.
I be in the store and I see somebody in front of me struggling, I just be like, just let me go ahead and try to like long as it ain't like $100 something. I'd be like,
Hmm.
Just go ahead and take this if I got it, even if it's
Yeah.
100. If I got it, I'll
Yeah.
I
give
do
it.
that too.
But yeah,
Hmm.
I try to help in any way that I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In any way that I can.
And some people come to the internet for like, some people could be depressed or going through stuff. They come to the internet for
Hmm.
That's
like a,
true.
and
You
then
don't
you,
know who
That's what
we
I'm
don't know who
saying.
we stop from ending it off.
Yeah,
That's true too, Sassy. You don't
just
know
to
what
get their
You
people
don't
mind
yeah,
off
know who
of
you
it,
stop from ending it all.
out.
You just don't
Yeah,
know.
Mhm.
maybe an hour or something just to talk to other people on here and things like that. People probably don't have any family members and stuff. They come on the internet to
Hmm.
talk to people or be a
Yeah.
part of something. You
yep,
know,
yep. And
And to
that's
come
why I
on
try
here
to
and
keep it
get
fun.
bullied and to get
Yeah.
dragged and lied on. People are tired.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people
We
gonna be
we're
Going
not
through
here
people.
for
too
that.
much.
We don't do
That's what
that.
Going
they
through too
say. You know
much.
what? I was running around here talking about I want a spirit like Porsche. I want to get the money because I did say if I ever date somebody now, I'm not the type. I don't want to date while I'm still in a marriage. So what
Mhm.
other
No.
people do, I don't care. But honestly speaking, if my husband began to date somebody right now, I wouldn't be mad at that lady. I wouldn't, as long as that lady respect me, I would not disrespect her. And long as she don't pull up at my house, because that's when we gonna have a problem. Because this is my shit. So don't come over here, okay?
Hmm.
Mhm.
Did y'all heard that? Key, my shit. Only name on it, so nobody can ever go and get no equity out of my house,
That's
but me.
yeah.
Exactly.
That's respectful.
Okay, so that's one
Hmm.
lie that was told. Okay, but at any rate, you can't do that to me. But he could date right now, and I wouldn't care because I've already said, okay, this is done. So why would I care if he dated? That's how I feel about Simon and Portia. If they was already at a place where they said we're done, the business side takes longer than the emotional side. So
Yeah.
married or not, if we already done, I ain't gonna give. Listen, did we just talk about men needing sex? If I ain't gonna give it to you, and I know you got to drive, then I'm expecting you gonna go get it. Why should I be
Hmm.
mad? If I chose that I'm not going to do that with you, and you do it with somebody else, how can I be mad?
I
You
push
can't
you to that.
withhold this
Yeah.
shit. You can't withhold the shit and then say you can't go get it either.
Hmm.
Can't do
right?
both.
Let me answer this. Right here, my sweet. You said, did you? You said, did you know?
Which one, baby? You want me to get?
Let
Oh,
me
my
ask
sweet.
you, sweet. Portia did have a daycare in 2009. She had a daycare. The daycare got
Yeah.
closed down. Well, the daycare did get closed down. She don't have the daycare anymore. She had
No.
a daycare in 2009, and a child passed away there. So she
Hmm.
did have a daycare. The court papers
Portia
that I
owned the daycare, and I believe that Portia owned the daycare for Diane.
Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
I
lucrative.
don't
That's a
think
lucrative
Portia worked
business
anymore.
if you
yeah,
do it
Yeah.
right.
yeah, Portia
Let
owned
me
the
tell
daycare,
y'all.
and then her mother was the CEO of the daycare. Go
Yeah.
look it up. It has
Right.
the court
Because
docs
that was
are
her
on there
mother
and everything.
daycare.
I put on there. I put all the
Yeah.
I think that
information.
was her mother daycare, and this is why I think her mother couldn't open the daycare. I hate to go back and leave people past, but the people was in there saying she stole money from the Hosea Williams Foundation. That could be a scar
Uh-huh.
on you for trying to open a daycare. Because I'm
Mhm.
telling you, my niece owns a daycare. You gotta
Mhm.
not a daycare. She owns three of them now, and it is a lucrative business. She started in her basement. My son and my nephew was her first children that she watched. My son, who is now 26, right? that those was her first kids. So everybody in the family, oh, because she said I want to open my own daycare. They was like, she ain't gonna open no daycare. She ain't gonna open no daycare. I said that girl smart. She could open a daycare because she was in there teaching our kids Spanish and all types of stuff. So I was like, my little boy, he trying to talk Spanish, and I'm like, what? He only like 4 or 5. So anyway, I said all that to say she now got three daycares, and they are millionaires. Their house is huge. They live real good. Okay, they don't want for nothing. 3
D.
daycares.
Hereford said Porsha said it on her YouTube.
Yeah, Portia
D.
said on her.
Hereford said she mentioned it. Yeah, I didn't know, but she mentioned it. Okay.
She said
Oh, she said
somebody else
instead
said it
of
in my
going to
chat.
college, she opened
Yeah.
a daycare business. I'm telling you, that
Denise, I heard
daycare
that.
is good. That is I'm telling you, that daycare is a lucrative business if you do it right. It is
Yeah,
very
done
lucrative.
correctly. That's the part.
It is very
Yeah, the very
lucrative.
first day.
So
Yeah,
now
yeah.
she has a franchise. She has a franchise, so she can actually go to other
Wow.
states now and
Yeah.
keep going if she wanted to. You know, yeah, she could. I tried to get her open one in North Carolina so my daughter could be down there. You know, because that's good money. It's real good money. But you gotta have the wherewithal. You gotta be really organized. You gotta know what you're doing,
Yeah,
and you
you
Mm-hmm.
gotta
gotta
have
be
people
step.
in
You
your
gotta be
daycare.
policy oriented. You
Yeah,
got
but
to
you
be.
Yeah,
know what? The Orange Man is
yeah.
trying to stop all of that now. You know how the state pay for your daycare and stuff? He's trying to cut that off.
He trying to put that.
They want
The
these women
So
in
daycare
the
he
and
just
stuff,
house.
want
state.
everybody to be poor.
They
No,
want
they want
the.
the
They
women
want to
back in
take.
the
No, he
house.
wanted to take these women back in the
In the
house. He
house
trying.
and give the men their
Yeah, he
jobs.
said that
Mm-hmm.
the state. He said they're gonna have to start paying for their medical. I guess half of the medical, half for they daycare and everything, and they taking a Section 8.
Mm-hmm.
If you've been on there, if you ain't disabled, or if you've been on there for more than 2 years, you got to get off.
That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
Yeah,
It
if
just
you been
doesn't make sense. It
because
just doesn't make sense.
they said because a lot of people they said are just going from one generation to another stand on Section 8. He said it wasn't built for that. It was built for you to like a stepping
I
stone.
get that.
You to
I
get
get
off.
that.
This country wastes
I
more
get
money on
that.
other things, though. They waste more money on that, on
You
Thank
ain't
you.
than
lying.
Section 8
Thank
and
you.
daycare and
We
stuff and
giving
healthcare.
billions of dollars to
We
other
do.
countries and we
We
want to
give
take
away
from
a
our
lot.
own people. It's
Yeah.
not
Or
making sense. We're
faking
gonna have
going out
all
of
these
space.
homeless
Yeah,
people
we
out
do.
here
We do.
struggling. This makes no sense at
It's
all.
to hurt people.
Yep, he's cutting
Makes
that
no
off.
sense at all. Now,
And then
if
Yeah,
you
he
also,
got
hurting
people,
people.
I feel like if you got people on Section 8, this is the only thing I feel about the Section 8. If people are working and they're paying their 60% because the government pays 40%, right? And you pay 60%. If you paying your 60%, right? Then that should be fine. But if you're just on the system and you're not working at all, I feel
Yes.
like those people should be made to work if they're a certain age. But if they're too old to work, then leave them alone. But if they're able to work, then I do agree. They need to get the fuck up and go to work like everybody else.
yeah, the elderly people he's not going to take off, but the people who are able-bodied, he said they got to come off.
But I don't believe in they got to come off because
Yeah,
the
he heard me say
program,
this too. Yeah, he heard.
the
He's signing
program,
it, but that don't mean it's going to happen. It could be
right?
2
But either
years before
way,
that
the
goes through.
program, it shouldn't be made like that. It shouldn't be made you got to come off. It
Yeah,
should be made you got to go to work
a
because
process.
everybody's job is not going to be the same.
Right.
Everybody can't afford the same rent, irregardless. Everybody don't have the same education. So it should be that if you're not working, you need to get your ass up and you need to get a job, even if it's at McDonald's or wherever the freak you got to go at, and you should pay your 60% of your rent. And that be putting money back into it. But if you're putting money back into a government that's just making a rich richer, then what the fuck?
Yeah, what are we doing?
That's what they want. They
Yeah, and
want to
then
be
also
richer. They want you to stay poor.
the SNAP benefits are going to be like where you only can buy certain food off of the SNAP benefits on it, where you cannot buy no sugary foods like the soda,
Yeah.
the chips, and all of that. And
Do
they're
you
going
know
to
how much that's going to hurt the stores? The store's
Yeah,
going to
this-
push back on that.
Yeah, trying to police people, it just doesn't work.
well
Well,
just
because I can tell you right now,
Not up there.
people with the money, we ain't really the ones that's out here buying all that shit up. It is the people with the food stamps. So they better be careful what the fuck they doing.
Yeah, they better
They're
be.
going to put a whole lot of stores out of business doing that.
Yep, that's what they
A
said. They're
whole
gonna
lot
do.
of stores.
And they're going to cut.
KCK.
to $50 or $75 per kid.
They're gonna cut the what?
The SNAP to $50 or $75 per kid.
Oh, they
can't feed nobody for $50 a day.
No, D just said what it is. The numbers, they're gonna be shocked when they see the numbers of who really gets it. The majority numbers.
The red states.
And
They said the majority of
thank
the red
you.
states.
The red
are
states
the
without
ones
the
that get it.
T and the clear people, but that people don't
Them
believe
clear,
that. 'cause
it's
they
more
make
of them us on it than
the
us.
face of it.
Right.
Yeah, they make us the face of it, but we're not the face.
Yeah, they're gonna see that
No.
red.
Yeah,
A lot
when
of
they
people
see
in
those,
them
when
states
they
that the red
crunch
states
the
get
numbers,
it.
some of that's not gonna happen because they're gonna crunch the
Nope,
numbers and
because
see
it's gonna
what it
affect
is.
them.
Yeah, it is. They're gonna affect them.
Because we know how to
Way more
survive.
than
I
us.
don't know why they
Oh
keep
yeah, we
trying to
do.
hurt us. I don't know why they keep trying to hurt us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know
They
why.
ain't hurting
I
us.
know how to season my food.
Yeah, because we know how
I
to
do
survive. We
too.
can do a lot of
Yeah,
anything.
we do all right. We
Yeah,
do
we know how to
survive.
make a
Yeah,
lot of anything.
make $1 out of 15 cents. That's what we used to
So
say.
Yeah, and
And
15
we can
cents
do
out of
it.
750, child.
Yeah,
What you
we
say?
can do it.
funny.
We always have. Even when we have
Yeah.
to come as a community to do it, we'll do it.
Thank you, D. Herford. And we've been there for decades. 11 to 12% of the population. So how are we the
Yeah,
ones getting all it? It doesn't even, the math doesn't even
makes
match.
sense.
But you
Right.
can't tell them that when they vote against themselves.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow,
Yeah.
that rent is going up, that blind lady.
Wow. Right. So what he gonna do? All the rent's going up, and he trying to take
Yeah,
assistance from people. That's ridiculous.
crazy.
Thank you guys. It's been
All
real.
right.
Yep,
I
I
gotta
was
go
getting
Yeah,
ready to
ahead.
thank you.
say,
Get
listen,
out
love
of
you
here.
guys.
Yes.
Love you
Mhm.
back.
So,
See you Sunday.
Y'all go have a good night. I will see
Yes.
y'all on, I'll probably be in one of y'all chat here or there.
I will see you
Yeah.
in the morning. I just be listening
Some of
in.
y'all be up too late. Drop the tea. Hint,
Yeah,
hint.
drop
I'm
the
like,
T
ain't
ain't
gonna be
going
up tonight.
nowhere.
I just came on
Drop the T
early.
not going nowhere.
After the
Look, I be
previous
feeling.
Drop the
I
T
be
gonna
like,
be
damn,
on, baby.
I can always catch Sassy and Sandra P. But that damn drop the tea.
Yeah,
Listen, my ass be sleep.
that's the late shift right there.
That's the
Yes.
night owl.
Yeah, that
Somebody
takes
had
you
nerve to
to
tell
That's
me
that
30.
one
night
day.
owl right there. Woo,
Somebody had nerve to tell me
woo.
one day. Said I missed your live because I stayed up too late with drop the tea the day before. They said in the comments, I'm doing the replay because I stayed up too late last night with drop the tea.
Mhm.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
that's the
I
third
think
shift
that
one.
drop the
That
tea
helps me.
interfering with my early birds.
Mhm. I hope you're in the
Child.
chat. I'll be in there.
Yeah,
All
but I
right,
just
All
be
right,
chatting.
you guys.
To do just be chatting. We be just chatting. Some people
Good
don't
Yeah,
have.
night,
ain't
Mahogany
nothing wrong with
Boots.
it. Ain't nothing
Uh-uh.
wrong with it. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Keep doing what you're doing, sis.
So,
Hey,
Yeah.
listen, I better be some content over there. Okay.
they sure do. Real
Okay.
content. Real
A real
content.
content.
All right.
And then
Good night, ladies.
my grandbaby, they say it's a night baby because she said he don't get up to at night and be running around up in her stomach.
Aw.
She said in the daytime he sleep and at night he be running around in her stomach. I said that's okay. I feel
Oh.
all right. That's okay. He can
She's
still.
still pregnant?
Yep, July 17th is her due date.
Oh, wow. She
Yeah,
got
and
a summer
It's
baby.
coming.
yeah, and then I'm having a baby shower June 14th.
Oh, okay.
Yep, I'm having a baby shower then. I did the gender reveal, and now I'm doing the baby showers. So this is
We
it.
did a gender reveal Saturday for my daughter.
Yeah, I seen it. That was so pretty.
I never decorate again, child.
That's
Ooh,
why I
child.
decorate. That's why no ma'am, I can't do it.
Oh, it was rough.
Mm-mm.
Look at Dr. T Talk done froze with a hand in the eyeball.
Oh, she gone, and then she dropped down. Well, good night, ladies. We were ending anyway.
Yes,
Chat.
good
Thank
night.
you all.
Good night.
All right. Good
Good
Have
night.
a good night, everybody.
See y'all
Bye,
later.
y'all.
Does that mean everybody went home? All right, y'all. Looks like everybody is gone. Good night. I love y'all. See y'all in the morning.
When I go with confidence, when I go live it roll our hips and take a sip on it, take a trip on it. When that girl